post up down the left field line. Keep it Hernandez is over to the center. Makes the catch. Wow! It is a fastball. It's lifted to deep right field. Barthel goes back on it. Steps on the warning track. Plenty deep enough to bring home the game's first run.
Now here comes the Lightning up the ice with some speed. Point drops it off. Destu shoots. Scores! Show! Antoine Destu! What a beauty for his first NHL goal!
It's in the slot. The Avs will bang it out. Ridley trying to use his legs to get out. 2-on-1. Now it's fired ahead. Shot Barthel. He scores! Sakar Barthel. His first career National Hockey League goal. And the Avs have taken a 2-0 lead.
It's always a combination. It's that puzzle you're putting together of trying to make sure it's not always about them and not just always about you, a kind of a healthy awareness of what they're doing well, how we can stop it, but also having an awareness of what we've done well, which is quite a lot of things this year so far, and making sure that I'm maximizing them without putting too much focus on the opponent.
Can't tell you how fired up I am for night game. I've been here for a night game on the other sideline. Back when I was at Texas Tech, we came up here twice. One of them was that night. I think it was in 2000 or 2001. And man, I remember that to this day. So our guys are fired up for this week, and a lot of them have mentioned to me just like this is why I'm here. And this is one reason why I'm here is for games like this. So we're fired up and ready to go.
Good morning. Welcome in. Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centros Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
Hi.
How we doing?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Hanging out? Were you cleaning out the car this morning? What was going on there?
I was listening to, I'm trying to figure out some things.
Okay.
Apparently, it does have a camera in there.
Oh, yeah?
That watches me.
Well, that makes sense.
But, again, I didn't know it was one of the highest-rated safety vehicles either because my timeline took off. So that's reassuring because I didn't want the car.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it. I didn't do anything. The guy that – what?
How did you end up with the car?
I never even saw it. I said, can you send me a picture?
So you never drove it or anything?
No.
That's a way to make decisions.
I was looking for ease and efficiency.
Fair enough.
They came and got that POC that I had and dropped that one off. I did a bunch of electronic paperwork.
Here you go.
And my man texted me last night from Olathe, and he's like, DB, hey, do you want to set up a tutorial? Because I said, does this thing have a phone charger in it?
Probably somewhere.
I know he laughs at me, but I've purchased my. He's a fix-it man. He's a lot like Heath.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where people bring them in when you want a really good rehab dealership.
Yeah.
And so I got all my stuff from him here locally, and then he went to Olathe. And somehow he caught wind. I called back to the old dealership.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody caught wind, and he's like, hey, man, you're going to give me a crack at this, aren't you? I was like, shoot. I'm over my mind. Yeah, go ahead.
You moved.
Shoot. Go ahead. I'm kind of at your mercy because he walked me through it, like what was going on. And, so I don't know anything about that vehicle.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time. I'd have a hard time taking ownership of a car like that.
I mean, I can read, so I read online, and
I know, but it drives different, like it just.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm sure it is, but
yeah,
I got to call Heath, by the way.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
I want to know how his thighs or the chicken thighs turned out.
I was like, you got to be more specific there.
Chicken thighs, his chicken thighs.
Yeah, you were telling me you were trying those.
Yeah, he makes them really. He does pretty well. There's a couple of buddies in our friendship circle that listen to the show too, and one of them in my phone is Bob the Smoker. But he's not like a puff pass. He's who I bought the drum from.
Like a Marlboro man?
He's not a Marlboro
man. Oh, okay.
No, he's a Cleveland Browns fan, so it is kind of similar to Slow Death, but it's different. No, so we share a lot of tips. He's a competitive smoker too, so I do okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lot of tips. I mean, Dodgers did what I thought they'd do.
All tied up.
It's hard for me to not like those powder blue.
I know they look so
Jays.
good.
It's really hard.
They look really good.
Then I watched him go 4-1, and I was like, yeah, I hate you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had to heck with the uniform, so it was fine. What else did I do?
You watch any basketball last night?
Yeah, I watched your Warriors.
Yeah.
I thought I was back in maybe the late 90s watching basketball.
I'll say that was not a great game.
It's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
I thought the clip joint would be better. They're old too.
Yeah, they're old and like not as good, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty geriatric.
Also, we're just Kawhi Leonard like circumvented the cap, and we're just gonna let him keep playing.
So can we get a ruling on that though?
I mean, the NBA opened an investigation, but he's just playing in the meantime.
Yeah, I think Ballmer like a
little extra $50 million large.
I think they can't look the other way. How about the Feds hitting Silverman with an inquiry letter again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just would love to keep those guys out of my business.
That'd be terrific. Yeah.
Usually when it gets to that level, they don't lose a ton of cases.
Well, it's just not. It's such a bad look.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a league-wide issue, even if it is isolated.
Would you get the sense that like the industry and legal markets has gone down? The public trust level has to probably be low.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Or did you already know that going in and you just try to get in on the good side?
Yeah,
I would have pulled all player props off.
So I think you can at least just get rid of unders. If you just get rid of unders, that kind of solves it, doesn't it? Like you could allow people bet over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that would kind of do it, wouldn't it? Like we wouldn't have to get rid of everything.
So you either take
an over or you don't bet it.
Yeah.
Because that solves this part of it where it's like I'm checking myself out. Because it's like, oh no, somebody's gonna play harder because somebody wants to bet on him. Shoot. Like what? You know what I mean?
What are we doing?
Like that seems like a win.
No, that's a fair point.
But or you can also like I heard a podcast talking about this, and this isn't just a basketball thing. Like you don't need, we have our guy Brian Edwards come on here every week and give us some like occasionally pretty obscure like QB rushing yard numbers.
Yeah,
it's like you probably don't need all those. It's probably easier to get to a guy who's the fourth tight end on a roster than it is to get to Travis Kelce, who, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I feel like we're setting things up for failure when you're getting guys out there that can impact these bets that actually either probably do need the money or can get themselves in trouble a lot easier. And like, just doesn't have to be all 450 NBA players having over-under on them every night.
450, huh?
That's about the number, I think, isn't it?
Probably.
30 teams, 15 guys?
Probably.
I'm trying to be in the neighborhood. I'm not a math guy.
Come on, math.
You jerk. Isn't that what he said?
It's a different kind of Asians that are good at the math.
You dick.
Why'd you cut it off last time?
I was just being nice, being thoughtful.
To who?
I was just being nice. You pull that straw out of your mouth and untuck your jeans, buddy.
Surprise, surprise.
It does sound like you had like a little dip in there. Like, I was just being nice.
Your jeans tucked in your boots over there, kiddo?
I grew up on a farm. I ate grass. I mean, come on.
Oh, you got a lot.
We talked about that yesterday.
Got a lot of less miles in you, huh?
Apparently that made me not very smart either, according to this guy yesterday.
Who, me?
Hmm?
No. You volunteered that information. I don't know what you want me to do with that.
I don't.
Like nobody.
We're not doing this again.
We're
just not.
We're not doing it again.
No.
What did you think about Coach Butler yesterday?
I thought it was interesting.
I did too.
I really liked Dana.
Yeah.
I thought Coach Butler was interesting.
What did you really like about Dana?
I think he's excited to like have the opportunity, and I think he looks at it just in an opposite way. Well, they're both competitive going against Lincoln Riley, but some of USC's numbers, I've been talking about them all week.
Yeah, they're
offensive numbers and their analytics are silly.
Pretty outlandish, yeah.
And so, and I don't even know if people like advanced stats, so I try not to just, because even I don't love advanced stats.
But it's hard to argue with 530 yards and 42 points a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
so, and I think Butler conversely is looking at it as a challenge. Like this is a matching of the minds. But I'm telling you, though, and usually kind of my theme for the week is one of the things that I'll be looking for. And my theme of the week is, what is it about SC statistics that makes the outcome so disjointed?
Yeah.
That's where the human element doesn't
like the eyeball
has
doesn't
variances
match
from the models.
Yeah. I will say part of it.
Go back and watch Illinois.
Yeah.
And then you want to say to yourself, well, how did Illinois stop them ever?
Right.
But they did.
They did.
And there was a stretch in the middle of the game where it was probably post the linebacker undercut the RPO from Maava. And then Illinois had a chance to double up the score. And then I think it was kind of teeter-totter after that. But then SC came back to take the lead.
Yeah.
And then we went back to Mr. Chicago. So
how does that go?
That's what he said. On just a little touchdown. Mr. Chicago.
I think part of it for me is I don't trust Maava. I think that's part of it.
He's going to give you a few, but the funny thing about him is when he's humming, he's pretty.
Oh, he's way better than he was last year, and you're right. He can get grooves.
But the thing about it is there's something about him that he's not skittish.
Yeah.
But sometimes he just needs to set his feet and boom.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
but he's going to give you a couple.
The way it looks, I don't know if that's kind of what. But yeah, he's going to, and part of it's probably how I felt about him last year. I'm letting it carry over a little bit. But I don't know. There's just something about him where I go, yeah, I don't totally trust what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to give you he's going to give you an opportunity to make some game-changing mistakes.
Eric, I'm black all week, baby. What?
Nothing.
He goes, DB rocking the all black today. I said, I'm black all week.
It's a blackout, you
got lots of black.
You got to stay dialed.
And I think some of the fellas messaged me from the stadium.
Yeah.
I think the radio crew has some gear.
Oh, they're getting you some gear?
They sent me a picture. I'm never going to look at well, I have before, so I apologize if I have looked one of you gifted horses in the mouth. I don't want that. But I don't know if I would wear a hoodie at the broadcast. But
on air, that seems a little odd.
But the hoodie is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, KC sent me
you have a picture of it?
Yeah. KC sent me a picture of it yesterday. And I'd rock. I know you'd ask me for it because it's the one Coach Secor had on one that was kind of West Sidey. That's nice.
Oh yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
But would I wear that? Nobody's looking at me except he's got the GoPro.
I would say he does. He
now.
does put the videos out now.
Didn't even ask.
That's kind of rude,
win, baby.
I don't have any control over what happens.
Just be like, hey, excuse me.
That thing is pretty sweet.
That is a nice hoodie.
I like the outline where it doesn't have it has the black in it, where it's just the white.
Yeah, I like that.
Is that black enough though? It's not the first time I've heard that. Do you think that's enough black?
It's pretty black.
Well, you're looking right at the white.
I understand that. You got a white outline and then you got a white N on there. That's the rest of the entire shirt's black. That's a lot of black. You're right. What's going on?
Just want to slap you sometimes. It's a block white in.
Yeah.
That's fairly pronounced.
It's right here, right? It's about right here. And it's got.
Do you understand contrast?
Huskers over the.
Do you understand contrast?
Yeah, it's like
kind of like us, like me smart, you dumb. Contrast. That's a lot of white. The white is
not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Yes, you are.
It's okay to say something positive.
It was not positive, Shane.
It's fine. Go ahead. It's over now. People forgot what's going to make it funny.
I'm just saying the me smart, you dumb thing kind of reflects a little glue eating in the past. That's what.
Apparently, according to my sphere of influence, a lot of people ate glue that are my age.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't eat it. I told you I was looking for fingerprints.
Austin says that's a lot of white. Someone walking into Sydney, Nebraska. He's from there. He can say that.
How does he work out? This dude wasn't going to the gym until 7:30.
Really?
There's not a chance. You're not getting
anything. Last night?
Yeah, you're not getting anything out of me at 7:30. from a fitness standpoint.
Yeah, that's he usually goes in the mornings. He usually goes at like 5 before the
He
show.
probably wanted to wait for his special friend.
I mean, they're engaged. You call her fiance. Special friend makes it weird.
Man, what time is it?
7:15.
Yeah, I feel like you're picking already.
Listen, Kobe's riding with me already. Again, he says the entire helmet's white, DB. I'm sure the little amount of white is fine. It's a fair point.
I like this look, Kobe.
I do kind of like when they just contrast the black on the black shirt. You know what I mean? Like the black on black.
Yeah.
I kind of like you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not like a contrast.
I wore all black last week too.
Yeah, it's because you let Coach Rule get in your head about the white.
Oh, that dude.
You guys friends again?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys gonna be cool?
I think so. He wants me to come see him, so we'll see.
Yeah. Rico says don't make it weird, DB.
How is it weird?
Yeah, when you call other people special
And tell your
friends.
boy Brunson to stop jaking it all the time. Oh, my habby. Be right back.
What does jaking it mean?
Fake.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I hate that.
me too. Like, either you're hurt or get up off the ground, LeBron.
Well, he's a superstar now. He's got to milk it.
Yeah. Talk about didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no one did.
I mean, he's not quite Austin Reeves, but certainly didn't see Jalen Brunson.
No.
I have no idea what Austin Reeves is doing. It's not the dude I watched in college.
No, not even a little bit. Not the dude that couldn't crack the lineup at Wichita State.
Hey, dude's just going for 40. He's just pencil him in for 20.
Yeah, because what he got 51 the other night.
It's silly.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. Not.
Is he another guy on your team you don't like, or you like him?
No, I like Reeves.
Okay.
See,
I was just asking. I didn't know if there was.
You got Marty Cordero on me yesterday about Ohtani. Yeah, we're texting back and forth over Ohtani.
Yeah.
He did ask a good question. He said, how long does he have to do this to be considered the GOAT? And I said, well, he's only played 7 full seasons.
Mhm.
So I said, probably 2 more years.
Yeah.
And that's low. Like 9 dominant Ohtani years to say the GOAT of all time seems low.
Yeah, but it's really almost double that because he got the pitching and the hitting. You know what I mean?
If I squint.
Yeah. You can kind of see what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
You're just blinking. You know it's not squinting, right?
God, I hate you.
Haven't you ever run into somebody that's like, oh, hey, I'm doing this thing. And it's like, no, you're not. Like they think they're doing it. It's like,
yeah, I coach.
That's a good point. It's like when I was a nanny and the kid would be like, hey, look, I can do a cartwheel. And I was like, that's not a cartwheel.
You're totally that guy. You're like the balloon deflator, the pen poker, the no fun police.
Popping the balloon.
The Denny Downer.
Listen, if I tell a kid that he's doing a great cartwheel when he's not doing a cartwheel, how does that serve him well later in life?
Bet you're a lot of fun at parties.
He's gonna be like, yeah, I want to be a gymnast when I grow up. It's like, bud, you can't even do a cartwheel. It's like, yeah, I've been killing it for years.
You and your lemonade seltzers. Whee! Go be with the guy in the corner. Cheers. Cheers, guys.
I mean, listen.
That's my man, Wang Dang.
One of your I don't know who that is.
Oh, Wang Dang is a food reviewer.
Oh, okay.
And he always goes, cheers, guys.
How would I know that?
I thought you might have scrolled across him on your algorithm. I don't know.
I'm just saying, one of your besties is a seltzer guy like me.
Who's that?
Les.
Oh, well, he's older. He's watching his girlish figure.
So?
And I've also seen Les drink things other than seltzers.
You've seen me drink things other than seltzers?
Barely.
It has an
umbrella. Well, they all resemble having an umbrella.
That's not true.
Outside of when I twisted your arm over some Takayuya.
Or when I brought it to your house and we drank it together?
Yeah.
Does that not count?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I felt like I was like, here, you have to have some. You brought it. And you're like, no. It's Butterfly Cannon. It's very fancy. It's for you.
How would I know that it was good tequila?
Somebody told you.
No, I had it.
One of your rich friends that owns restaurants that you get bottles of wine from when they have excess because it's been opened once. Probably somebody like that told you.
No, it was my buddy got me a bottle. So he knows I like tequila.
You're using Buddy a little too freely. I don't think you rock like that.
Listen, I know that you can't imagine it, but other people actually like me.
Yeah, we gotta check on that.
Outside of this room.
Yeah, Shane's definitely with me.
I don't know. You were being mean to him yesterday.
Really?
I
Would you like to go back and
I don't remember.
Was it goes without saying or enough said, or what was the little snarky reply to the glue thing?
That you made me say?
I didn't make you say
did.
it.
I was just gonna sit here. I was just gonna laugh and have a good time, not say a word. And you're like, just say it. Just say it. So I said, not surprised.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's a sucky delivery too. By the way,
You're gonna be all right. I think you'll make it.
You had me at hello.
That was a pretty good drop, Shane.
hey, he's having a good day.
He's kind
He's
of
had
on
a good week so far.
He's on a heater a little
trying
bit.
to figure out what's Nebraska got to do to have a good week.
What's Nebraska got to do to we're back to our checklist.
Oh, narratives?
Yeah, our narratives checklist.
So how is that doing?
We're doing good. So we got the alternative uniforms out of the way.
We still didn't win in all whites though.
Haven't won in all whites, so the all whites is on there. We've got the top 25s is out there. That's the big one.
It's a number in front of SC's face.
There is a number in front of SC. We got the losing off a bye week out of the way. We got that one. What else did we get? I don't think this was on the list, but back-to-back bowl games. That's out of the way.
Oh, we can't do it this week, but winning back-to-back road games.
Oh yeah. Back-to-back road.
Which is insane.
So somebody was actually telling me this. There actually haven't been that many opportunities for it to happen.
No, I understand. You walked me through this exercise.
So it sounds the number like 2006 sounds horrifying, but it's only I think 7 or 8 opportunities, and they've at least split it all but like twice. So that one sounds way worse than it is. But I will say that's how most of these narratives are. They sound way worse than they are. Yeah. People just kind of let things ruminate in their head. It gets bigger than it is. But no, the ranked one's the big one on the table this week.
Well, that's kind of daunting. Is it still 6.5? 6.5 and 59?
Let's give it a quick old look-see here and see where we're at.
Shane, who are you cheering for in hockey again? I know your brher likes the Ning. You dabble with the Avs and Red Wings. Pick one.
No,
they're both
both
going to be good.
It's the Avs.
So you're off the Wings?
Yeah.
Which made no sense historically anyway.
Historically, no. But historically, yes, because they were bad for like 10 straight years.
Longer than that.
Yeah, 10 to 15, something like that.
Were you just trying to do the like Detroit thing because you're Lions, the Tigers?
I just don't know how an Avs fan can remotely be interested in what Detroit's doing.
Maybe because I was just so mad that they sucked for so long. I was like,
I'm going to like the Avs. I'll show you.
Yeah, maybe.
Detroit's not bad this year.
So you like the Red Wings first. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
But now they're out.
Yeah, for the most part.
That makes no sense.
What do you mean for the most part? Either they are or they are. You can't go back to them when they get
he's
good.
He's just going to wait and see if Detroit continues.
Oh, I still have Detroit gear, like Red Wings gear.
So
which you've never seen me wear.
I don't think I have.
Which I haven't.
Yeah.
I've seen you wear Avs gear.
Yeah. Well, I've got an Avs sweatshirt on right now underneath this.
I saw a guy at the grocery store with I assume his mom. He was helping her. He was fantastic. He had an Avs quarter zip.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. And I held the door, and he's like, "Thanks, Damon." And I was like, "Oh, fudge, I better speak." I was like, "Yeah, I like your coat."
I saw some terrible.
I did.
I believe you.
I saw some.
Well, stop laughing.
It's your delivery. You got a funny delivery sometimes. Hey, I like your coat. Which I doubt is how it sounded in real life.
What did I say?
It was probably just like, "Hey, I like your coat."
Hey, thanks, Damon. Hey, I said, "Hey, that's a sharp coat."
That sounds like you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The first one was a little different. I don't know what happened there. Hey, I like your coat.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry, Shane. What were you saying?
I just say I saw some terrible gear this morning. I actually saw somebody wearing Toronto Blue Jays gear.
Oh, I thought you were saying Maple Leafs. I was like, hey, get off my leaves.
I wanted to go up to the guy and say, you're the first person I've ever seen wear blue
I
Jays
used to have a Jays, Leafs, Raptors coat hanger. And it was hockey sticks that came to a 3-prong.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And they each had pegs.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd keep that.
Why not?
Didn't keep that one.
Oh, didn't keep a lot of things from Toronto.
But it was
like the Canadian money. It's no good down here. That's all. That's all. That's all I meant. That was my bad.
I got nothing.
Those Raptors jerseys back in the day are pretty tight, though, huh?
Uh-huh.
The big Raptors guy.
Yeah. Wow. This rolls right off.
When I was
that one was that was my bad.
When I was
they all are.
When I was a kid, I actually had a Montreal Expos hat because I was a Tim Raines guy.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the Expos. They had a really nice, like their rosters in the early 90s were kind of stupid.
Yeah, and I'm super competitive, so I picked between the three, between Vince Coleman, Ricky Henderson, and Tim Raines.
You felt like you couldn't like more than one fast guy?
Well, my buddy Chad grew up a Ricky Henderson fan.
Okay, so you're out on him?
So I let him, he could keep Ricky.
Okay.
I took Vince Coleman, even though I should have taken the Rock. But Raines, the kind of the quasi curl, and sometimes he'd rock the toothpick, and I got him confused with UL Washington because you guys were telling me everybody all looks alike. So
what do you mean, you guys?
Yeah, you were not even a twinkle then. So I went with Vince Coleman reluctantly.
Yeah,
and I regret that.
I mean, you don't,
because as I got older, I kind of liked Ricky.
Yeah, no, you don't have to stick with it.
So I could be like Shane?
Yeah, you could be like, hey,
well, I like the Wings, and then
I'm
I
an
like
Avs
their
fan
rival.
now.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers were really bad in the 90s, man. It made, San Francisco on the cusp of winning those World Series a lot more palpable.
Nah.
Who does that?
That thing wet.
You ever like go back and look at, I know it's a different time and they played the game a different way. You ever go back and look at some of the guys' stats that you liked, and you're like, there's not a lot there.
Yeah, Pedro Guerrero is one of them.
Yeah. I was just looking at Vince Coleman, and I was like, that's a little rough, homie. That's tough.
Well, remember back then, if a guy hit 268, he was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you hit 268, now you're an average major leaguer that probably hits 30 home runs and strikes out 116 times a year.
I would say you can hit 268, but you better have 30 dingers.
Yeah, and Vince Coleman.
He did not.
Was it him or Ozzie that historically went all those record number of at-bats without a home run?
I think Ozzie did, but do you know how many Vince Coleman home runs there were off the top of your head?
In his career?
Yeah.
How many years did he play?
He played 13. 85 to 97.
I will go with 91.
Way high.
Really? That's 7 a year.
Way high.
100.
I don't think he never had 7 in a year. His most is 6. He did that once.
50?
Way high.
Wow. He was a slap. And that's what he did. He just beat that thing into the ground.
Yeah, he just like smacked it into the ground off the AstroTurf and then just ran.
Yeah.
Which you would have thought he would have gotten on base a little bit more than he did, which is also not great.
What was it, OPS?
Career OPS is
and OBP, I should say.
His career, so his slash line is 264, 324, 345.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's pretty rough. 668 OPS.
I nailed the 264 though.
28 career home runs.
Oh boy. Oh, what did Dank say? I can't read.
Let me. I can help you out here. How can you not like something new that also respects tradition? I don't know what that's.
Such as?
I don't know what that's in reference to, Dank. I don't remember what we were talking about.
A good strand? What are we talking about?
Maybe he's
Dank?
talking about like in Colorado, liking something new that respects tradition.
What tradition?
I'm gonna go ahead and doubt that's
respecting?
not what he's talking about.
He could be.
He's up awful early to be on the Pacific Northwest if he's still up there.
Yeah, he must have a job that makes him get up early or something. Or he might be a early morning workout guy.
So it's 5 there.
5:30. Yeah, 5:30.
That's not ridiculous.
No, I mean it's early, but it's not crazy.
I would be up at 5.
You don't sleep ever. You're always up.
But what are you doing? Like, I'm not gonna say what are you doing. You're probably sleeping, but like, what else are you gonna be doing?
Be asleep.
Oh, forget it. That was not gonna go where I wanted it to. I'm gonna eat it.
Vince,
Well, you gotta understand though.
Vince Coleman did steal a lot of bases, Todd. He would have stole more if he got on base ever.
Yeah.
324 on base
That
percentage.
80s baseball was weird.
It is super weird. The numbers do not hold up at all.
I
It's
know.
super strange.
You know, the other thing that drives me crazy is about Ohtani and saying 2 more years is it was what was. Now I get it. Vastly different slugging numbers, but I'm still one of those guys that I think in his era, guys not named Tony Gwynn, like Don Mattingly is.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He's even overshadowed by slapstick Sally Boggs, right? But what?
I'd never heard him called that before.
I don't even know where I got Sally Boggs from. It just sounds like, although a guy that could drink 427 beers in a flight probably doesn't name Sally, but
probably not.
I hated his approach, and everybody always holds the fact that Mattingly only had eight or 9 good years under his belt and didn't hit for power, and I was like, that era is just different.
Yeah, and at least his.
And I'm not saying Donald Arthur is a Hall of Famer necessarily. I just think he should get more run for how good he was.
Also, you do have at least he actually hit for average because some of these
he's got to be a career 300 hitter.
Yeah,
right?
He's 307. So you at least have
what he slash.
He was 307, 358, 471. So he's got 830 career OPS. That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
a lot of doubles.
How many good years? I've looked at this. It's 8 or 9.
Let's see here.
And he had the Larry Bird, or the bad back. He had the same back issue.
Did he do it repaving his mom's driveway?
Well, I didn't ask him.
Okay.
I'll hit him up.
Yeah, let me know
It's
next
an
time.
question.
I would say, he was good till the end. He was at 500 at bat for his last year, and he still was 750 OPS, 288 hitter. He was. So I would say 9, 10.
Okay.
There's a couple that
9 sticks in my head.
There were a couple injury shortened ones, but he was still good in those years. So I'd say 9 or 10.
Oh, Dank does his own thing, so he can do what he wants. God, that's the American dream.
Oh, that's awesome.
What product you pushing, Dank? I want in.
Guessing by location and name, I think he might be in the cannabis business. That's just a guess.
We don't want to assume.
I'm like I said, it's an assumption. I'm making a guess here. He was talking about the blackout jerseys, by the way. Honors tradition, but it's something new.
Oh, I don't. So the black thing, I'm cool with it.
I love it.
I don't have I think
it's great.
I don't have a super strong opinion.
I do.
I don't really care.
I'm very pro. I'm aggressively pro. I like alternate jerseys a lot. I think it's a fun thing for the fans. I think it's really fun for the players. I do think it helps in recruiting. The more variations of cool stuff you have.
And this is a legit recruiting weekend.
Oh my gosh. It's I can't wait to talk to some of our guys this week. We'll talk especially Tim on Friday.
Is he still poaching guys from Penn State?
He's trying, yeah. There's some visitors that are going to be here. Ahmad Hudson's going to be here.
Yeah, I was reading Robin's write-up, which, by the way, Shane, you guys can pick who you want, but when basketball so late November, first week December, I would like a Creighton, Nebraska, Omaha guy every week. Please. Do you mind?
No, let's do some basketball.
You can round robin it. You can go Jacob, Maddie,
Don't matter
Evan,
to me.
Robin.
Yeah.
My man Johnny Walker, Black.
I think it's just Walker. I don't think the Black's on there.
I like Johnny Walker.
He
which one of the cooler names in the media?
It is a good name.
We sleep on him. We have only talked to him a couple times,
That's
but
true.
I like him. And he did the shoot. He hopped on the horn from the tournament site.
He did.
It was choppy and broken as all get out, but I was getting my info.
He gave it a go. He gave it a go.
Oh, I'm Team Johnny Walker Black.
Yeah.
Kobe, my man is. I'm telling you, Kobe, at some point we're gonna go get some Chinese.
Why?
Because he likes Chinese.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I just want to know what I'm dealing with.
Pick his brain a little bit.
I want to know the person behind the keyboard.
Is
that weird?
Behind the bloated sip avatar?
Is that who that is?
Yeah, it's sip in Nutty Professor. Get up.
Wow, today years old.
I'm pretty sure, right? Kobe, that's right. That's like a bloated sip. on your
Never,
avatar?
ever, ever, ever looked at that avatar.
I'm right, isn't it?
That's funny. Why do his jowls look like that?
I think he did a thing.
That's funny. Wait a second. I need some of that.
It's fat filter sip. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dude, that's
wow. Dank is in construction.
Oh, good for him. I like manual labor.
Good for you, Dank. Look at that.
Wait, what is Wyatt's?
He said, DB, you're going to go get Asian food with someone else before me?
What? I thought it would be redundant. You want to broaden your... Okay. No, see, your laughter skews the intent. There's a backstory.
I'm not saying
the first 7 recipes I asked Wyatt about were all of Asian persuasion. And he made a joke, why don't I ask him about, and then fill in the blank, run-of-the-mill, standardized American food.
Mm-hmm. You're like, I got that covered.
So I was like, why would I, if I assume, that would be like, hey, DB, man, where's the good fried chicken spots? And I'd be like, other people eat fried chicken too. Wyatt.
Yeah, but I don't trust their opinions on it.
So you're just laughing. I'm not doing that because.
I mean, I don't know if I could say this.
Why does your mind automatically go to things you wonder if you can say? That is a total you problem.
It's the space I live in, DB.
Plus, Asian Wyatt and I used to dabble in the same food truck spot downtown. And he would like give me these reviews of the restaurants that were in the spot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be.
Well, then why'd you only ask him about it then?
See, you misconstrue what happened. I didn't. It started with Asian pears. Then it was an Asian market. Okay. So I was looking for a good one, and I wanted to know if I could substitute Asian pears.
Mm-hmm.
I figured he would know. It's taken off from there. I don't need you laughing, gaslighting the thing.
Wyatt's right. Korean fried chicken's good too.
I told you, it's
phenomenal.
Some of the best.
Yeah.
It's some of the best wings in the city are Korean.
Yeah, they are absolutely.
So we've talked about wet batter and double dip. Like
I'm just saying, there's certain people that I'm going to trust certain food items more from than others.
Yeah, but I can go
get
Chinese with Coody, and I can go eat something else with Wyatt.
You go get fried chicken with Wyatt.
Doesn't have to be fried chicken.
Well, he suggested it. He suggested it. He goes, we can get Korean fried chicken together and call it good. I'm reading a quote here. I was not doing a thing. I was reading.
Yeah.
I was reading.
Yeah. I see. JP knows. Char Bar's pretty good, isn't it, Johnny? Like, it's a slept-on.
Oh, is that a
barbecue place in Kansas City?
Mm.
Especially if you go.
I don't get it down to KC a lot.
Yeah, I feel like I used to live there.
Well, you had all the basketball stuff down there, right?
Yeah, and I didn't even eat there when we went.
Yeah. Well, you don't like to eat while you're on the road much.
I think I DoorDash some trash.
That sounds on brand.
Oh. Hey, that's the secret.
You're like the DoorDash sushi guy. Like, that can't be good.
In New York, it was spectacular.
All right, maybe New York's DoorDash scene's a little quicker than Omaha's.
Dude, they're on mopeds, and they double dipped. Yeah. Plus, I was next to Hell's Kitchen. It was sensational.
How long did it take from the time you hit the thing to when you got your food? Because this is my real concern with the sushi. It's just not that it's going to go bad in that amount of time.
I think if I remember, it was 37 minutes.
Oof. I don't know if I want my sushi transported for 37 minutes. I feel like it's not going to be good after that.
Well, you got to figure roll time.
So what? Probably 15 transport.
It was a block. It was 1.2 miles.
Okay, so at least 10 in New York, probably on a moped.
Yeah, and it was the night before. It was busy. It was Christmas Eve.
All right, so I'm it's half and half, probably cook time versus delivery time. I don't know if 20 minutes on a.
I think you're just being a Richard.
I'm not. I'm really weird about to go sushi. I don't think it's gonna hurt you. I just don't like it very much.
You also think I can't eat day old?
No, that is the entire scientific community that thinks that. That is every health inspector in the world that thinks that. I am just an accurate reflection of those beliefs.
Shane, I think we ought to take a break and get to the presser. And why is Nebraska on the television?
JP, I would.
Oh, that was the Cincinnati highlight against Houston. Oh, no, Utah.
JP, I would absolutely not DoorDash that. No. Absolutely not. No.
You'd have been out. So what if you would have DoorDashed that lunch and then you found out the sticker price was $40-some? Would you have canceled the order like you didn't go to the restaurant?
I mean, you can see the price on the app.
Well, sometimes, the Jedi mind tricks with DoorDash? That's why you need Dash Pass to make sure you don't get hit with the hidden fees.
Oh, yeah. If I get to the end and they're like $18, no. Cancel. We're doing something else today.
I got to get to the presser.
That's TV.
I am a big pheromone guy.
That's TV. I'm Ravi Lulla.
Man.
It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
The Kia Fall Savings Event is on at Edwards Kia. Fall into fearless savings with upfront deals on your favorite models. Lease a 2025 Kia Soul LX starting at $189 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Style, efficiency, and a price that moves you. Smart looks, fearless savings. Or lease the 2025 Kia Carnival EX starting at $389 per month for 24 months with $2,000 due at signing. Comfort and tech made for every family adventure. Hurry, the Kia Fall Savings Event ends November 3rd at Edwards Kia.
Again, I think being in the Big Ten, you're going to go against good competitive teams every week. USC is a talented, very talented team. I think that we are, we are very excited to get the chance to compete with them. But yeah, I think they're a challenge for sure, just like everybody else. That's definitely something that I've noticed them do. Just evolving their run game. Things like that. They've got a lot of talented players in the run, talented linemen. So I think that's definitely something that they've built upon being in the Big Ten. Yeah, I mean he's a great dude, man. It's awesome getting to see how far he's come, how he's continued to grow as a player. He was very talented when he was there with me. We were teammates. But yeah, I'd say that he's definitely just continued to work at his craft, continue to develop, and he's definitely having a great year so far. So I'm excited to get to compete with him.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
just unbelievable athletes. They do a great job. I've known Lincoln for a long time, and know those defensive guys as well. So, they're very well coached. They have very well, they have 4 or 5-star guys out there. I mean, every one of their D linemen 6'5", 275. Every one of them. Never seen that before, but they got one big dude in there. But they're big up front. Their linebackers are active. Their secondary does a good job. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. If you're on the road this morning, make sure you've got your eyes up and that phone down. Or if you got a car like DB's, it'll tell you to get those eyes up and make sure you're not distracted. You've got one job as a driver. That's to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's a lot going on in that vehicle.
It seems like a lot.
You should see my dash. I did Google the tutorial. I can turn it off. It's big and bright and busy.
Yeah.
Everything that I hate.
You're like, oh, just chill, man. Chill.
But again, I did buy a car sight unseen.
That is the thing that you run the danger of,
Yeah, whatever. I need to. Some of these fish connoisseurs we need to hang out with, but they're far.
Yeah,
because Kendall's by where Dank is, but Kendall's who sent.
Oh yeah.
Because
he sent the headphones.
Joan.
I'm the dummy in that situation. I put headphones in the freezer.
Yeah. I don't even know where those went. Those must have been Zoe's.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, shoot. I just opened this guy's Amazon package.
Yeah, but now I got there. Coach Queen wants in on the clam deal.
Oh, yeah? The razor clams?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm in a sweet spot, I may have him over and we can
yeah.
I don't know if we cook together, but I may let him.
You can let him drink a beer while you cook?
We're starting to get him in the cooking. Coach Williams, Coach Jernigan. And
yeah?
Yeah. He got an air fryer and a smoker, so he thinks he's like Chef Boyardee.
He's doing big stuff now.
Yeah.
So there's a report.
So I would like to sample, so I can tell the difference between, because I am now starting to like different types of fish.
Okay, yeah.
Like, haddock or cod or halibut. I can't wait to taste the difference in the salmon.
Big halibut guy.
Me too.
I like halibut a lot.
Well, we talked about the cheeks.
Yeah.
Not the kids kind of cheeks, like
halibut
cheeks.
Yeah.
But I don't remember ever having trout.
I don't think I have either. I think that's more regional. I don't think you get trout a lot here. You get like sea bass and you get salmon, you get halibut.
So one of my favorite pieces of sushi is itchy sea bass.
Oh, yeah.
I like Chilean sea bass.
Yeah.
Big sea bass.
Bass is good. Sea bass is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I've had trout.
I don't think I have either.
Like now that I think about it. I think halibut, salmon, and sea bass are the main ones.
There were a lot of good fish choices and
whitefish. A lot of people do whitefish. That's a real kind of fish. I'm not. It is a little flakier than like a halibut. It's
fine.
It's a kind of fish, man.
It's fine.
So did you hear this report on Cam Scadabo's injury?
Yeah.
So he goes, surgery was right away to close the wound.
Yeah.
That means that sucker broke through the skin.
Yeah.
Oh, horrifying. Yeah. I didn't need that information, Ian Rappaport. I did not.
So the crazy thing?
What's that?
So Spindler's dislocation broke the skin,
yeah,
but it was not a break.
Oh, so that's super weird. So his finger, I won't do that. So it popped out and broke the skin, but didn't actually break the bone.
Nope.
That's why. I don't even know how that happens.
I have never.
So he must have absolutely just screwed a tendon or something.
I'm trying to figure out why. It's I get a dislocation, but not a break. To break the skin has to be violent.
Yeah.
And be dislocated, obviously right at the right
spot.
That's
at the joint, right?
Yeah. And I looked at his splint because he was warming up. I always we do our shoot in the offensive lineman's workout corner, and he had a buddy bandage with the black sleeve, and he connected it to the whatever you call this finger.
The middle finger?
Oh, yeah, it is his middle finger. And that was it.
Yeah.
Like the rest of his fingers were free.
That's good.
Yeah, I struggle with that though.
Yeah.
I walked you through that, right? When you get casted, like if it's a thumb or a finger on the end, do you want the rest of your fingers movable? Because I think there's this reluctance, and Shavers found this out, so he went with the club last week.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, he had the fingers free. I still think you would be reluctant to use your fingers with your thumb separated by a cast because you'd feel like you'd get your fingers torn off.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's like an unnatural.
Yeah, your fingers would be at the mercy of being separated from your thumb.
Yeah, I don't think I like that.
So I
not if I'm trying to do something.
So
like that.
I bet you it pulled.
Yeah.
When he tried it.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
But I wouldn't want it
Had
clubbed
like a-
either.
had
If
like
I
a-
wasn't gonna be violent, I would want my fingers free.
You almost have. I don't know how you wouldn't. Like I don't know how Spindler would play with a club. You know what I mean?
As an offensive lineman, yeah, it'd be
like
miserable.
you have. There's no way, right?
Yeah, I wish you could have seen. Did they do anything on television where they showed it?
Not close up, I don't think.
It looked. Did you watch wrestling?
Not really, not a ton.
Shane, who was the guy? Was it not Sacco, but the same dude, Mankind?
Oh, okay, yeah, I know who Mankind is.
So it was like a 2-finger deal.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah,
it's black,
like just the splint.
Yeah,
yeah, that's wild.
So, but I don't think you can't play with like the club though.
No, not an offensive line. No. You can get away with it at like D line and maybe linebacker a little bit. That's about it.
Our guy, we have 2 guys with breaks, and they both went club.
Yeah, I would feel way better with.
They're both linebackers, so
yeah, that makes sense. Just use that peanut punch with it.
And one of the guys, Spencer, it's the same
one as
yeah.
Rocco.
So when we high five, he goes like he just touched the
boom
2 fingers.
Vogler Seaman Center says, if blindfolded, can you distinguish between ribeye, fillets, New York strip, and sirloin? I bet you can.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was mad at the fancy place in where were we? Chef Tony's retirement home.
Retirement.
Oh, Maryland.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're surf and turf. They tried to tell me it was filet, and I looked at Benny Mac. I go, "This is some stinking sirloin."
Yeah.
Miss me with this.
I could definitely tell the difference between ribeye.
We just argued about ribeyes and fillets.
Everything else.
One of our coaches doubles as a chef.
There's a chance I might mistake.
And we were arguing between fillets and ribeyes.
There's a chance I might mistake blindfolded a strip and a sirloin.
Ooh, really?
I think so. If I was gonna mistake any two, I think it'd be those two.
So
right?
sirloin may get me, but I would guess between sirloin and chuck, but not a strip though.
Okay. Out of those 4, if I mistake one, that's those.
Could you do a strip, a fillet, and a ribeye?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the strip sirloin is probably the closest. If I was gonna make a mistake,
because the strip that's part of the cut.
Yeah.
Right. You're just getting the
You're
just getting the good part of the strip loin.
Yeah. So if I got like a weird bite of it, I feel like I might mistake.
I could see that. I definitely
would not.
I wouldn't throw sirloin in there and say I could discern.
I wouldn't,
because it's too close to the strip.
Yeah, that's kind of what. I would not mistake ribeye for anything. Like I know my ribeyes, and I don't think I would fillets either. I used to eat a lot of fillets, but I generally don't eat that much strip or sirloin. If I'm going to get a steak, I usually go with either. Now I go with ribeye all the time.
That's the best part, Hunter. It's just not big enough.
Which one?
The rib cap.
Oh, I had one of those. Okay, so our friends at Omaha Steaks, that they're going to be here on Friday to help us promote the live show. They had us out to a tailgate for.
You told me about that.
One of the games. I don't remember which one it was.
Heated. I was like, that must be rough.
You should come out tomorrow.
How am I going to get out? When am I going to do it? We had this conversation. You're pissing me off.
Just take a little break.
Hey, I'm going to go to Omaha Steaks tailgate. I was like,
it's right outside the stadium.
I don't have time.
You'll be fine. You can make it. Just be like,
Can you imagine me out there pregame?
Yeah, just be like, hey, Benny Mac, yeah, you got this for a second.
I smell like
Or do like they did for the reunion thing. Just pre-record something. You'll be all right.
Yeah, but I didn't get out there. It was inside. They came to the lounge.
Oh, okay. Well,
guys were drunk.
No. But no. So that's the first time I'd ever had a rib cap.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It's life changing.
It's just not enough.
Yeah, they're very. So that was what the guy was telling us, is that the amount that you can get like per cow from a rib cap is tiny.
Not enough.
Oh, that's good though.
That's it's better than a fillet.
Oh yeah, I think it's better than the ribeye, and I love ribeyes. The rib cap is phenomenal.
And it's weird, unlike like the money muscle and like in pork. Like I get why the money muscle is so good in competition.
Yeah,
it is way better than anything it's connected to. Because I'm not a butt shoulder guy.
Yeah,
for pork. But that money muscle portion, is different. But it's kind of like the rib cap.
Yeah, the rib cap is phenomenal. It's probably I had never had it until a few weeks ago.
I would like to try a well-prepared chuck eye.
Oh, I haven't had a chuck eye.
And
I'm not even sure I know what that is.
Well-prepared ribeye.
I love a ribeye.
The chuck eye is like the poor man's ribeye. It's obviously the
chuck portion.
It's the good portion of the chuck.
That makes sense.
And people started jacking up the prices because people figured out it was the good part. And you know what? Another reason why sometimes you don't buy meat over the counter is they start cutting that part out.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what you guys did there.
Okay, give me that part back. I paid for that.
I only came in here for brats.
Give me that part back. No, yeah, I think either the rib caps or a couple times Natasha's made me tomahawks. Like
I have two. You didn't get? Did you go in the freezer?
No, I just
so
did right
that
in the
second
front.
shelf is all the good cuts.
Yeah,
I have two in there, and it's soon to be one. I used to have several more.
Well, yeah, you got to eat them.
God, they're amazing.
Yeah, every once in a while, like for my birthday or something, she'll make me a tomahawk, and oof, those things are good.
My favorite.
Yeah, I'll mess around with tomahawk.
It's probably my favorite.
In terms of one you can easily get at restaurants, ribeye is definitely my favorite.
And I can do them on the smoker too.
Yeah.
And then sear late, and they're incredible.
Yeah, they are unbelievable. Kobe says, make sure you check the weather forecast before you smoke meats with DB.
I took the umbrella off the stand and tried to prop it against the.
It's a good look.
The barrel. That pole bent. It was like.
Like Rocco Spindler's finger.
It's gross.
That's TV. I'm Ravi, Lulla. We've got Brian Christopherson coming up next.
Fall into fearless savings this October in Edwards Nissan with upfront deals you can point to. Lease the 2025 Nissan Sentra SV starting at $249 a month for 36 months with $0 down. Sleek design, smart tech, and incredible efficiency. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
DBK, got to give a shout out to Kelsey Fiend, Lexi, you got to, and the Stivvy Slide, you got to go with Stiverins.
I mean, Jordan Larson, of course, classic. Nicklin Hames, great setter.
Great call there.
Appreciate it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm kind of new to Husker volleyball. She's teaching me a lot. Yeah. So I'd have to say Lexi Rodriguez, she was a stud here. And then shout out to Merritt Beeson, the captain last year.
Absolutely. Great calls, guys. All right.
Yeah, he's doing great. His conditioning is where it needs to be. He's been full go. We have not had any restrictions on rink for probably 6 weeks. So he's in a good spot. Like I said, Oogie was good to get him out there. He's been very limited in practice. We're going to need Oogie this year with his body and his size. Jared, I thought, finished off the game well. I didn't like how he played early with the turnovers, but, we're going to need that in our front line. I thought Leo played well. You can see how well he moves. We put him in as a first sub on the front line in the second half, and I thought he gave us really good minutes out there.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Holding them to field goals. That's how you measure it. That's why we won the game last week. We held them to a couple of field goals defensively, and that's what everybody preaches. I mean, how many times have I sat up here and talked about, we got to score touchdowns in the red zone. That's got to improve. It's one of the first things that I addressed with the guys when I got here a year ago, ironically enough, preparing for USC. So familiar with them. It's going to be awesome, man. This is why you do what you do. It's going to be a big week around here. It's Big Ten football at its best. This will be my second night game, and first in conference. So I can't wait to see what it's going to be like, man. It's going to be a lot of fun against a good quality opponent.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
BC. Well, we broke the string, so we got all the superstitions and nonsense out of the way. It was all out of context, and you were the last one to sit down, and we still won, so it's all good. We broke that home, don't step on the crack thing. Well done.
You're saying it's almost like the uniform thing where it doesn't matter at all, really.
Yeah, although we still have to check the all whites off the box since Minnesota. What was that, 15 or 14 or whatever?
Yeah.
Been a while for that one.
I still don't think it matters.
You're right. It 100% doesn't. Typically, the better team that night wins.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Saturday. I was late. I didn't get into the press box till 9:40. I kind of took my sweet time getting out the door for that 11 a.m. kickoff. So
that was like everybody else at the stadium. I was a little surprised at the slow start.
Yeah, I was messing with the mojo a bit, but yeah, they got through it, and I'll be up there early Saturday if we want to try to replicate anything from the early weeks.
Yeah, Bruntz actually had a hint of kindness to him, so it was fine.
Bruntz is actually one of the nicest guys. I don't know.
I think he's always kind. I agree with you.
Of course you do.
Miller North guys stick together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Did you work at the Hoofbeat, Ravi?
Oh, I did.
you
Yeah,
work
I
for the
was.
Hoofbeat?
I succeeded him as the sports editor of the Hoofbeat.
Oh, nice.
Is that why you can't write?
Oh, I don't write anymore. I'm very, very bad at it.
I can't write anymore either.
He is good with
I'm trying to
numbers, though, B.
Dude,
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Writing is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I kind of can't imagine he's good with numbers. I don't know why I think that, but I do.
I know. Big standardized test guy.
I love standardized tests.
B, let me ask you something. If you're gonna have some takeaways from last Saturday that you think are portable to this Saturday, give me like the top one or two.
Am I wrong that for the most part the run fits? I felt like even though by the end of it the numbers weren't great, I felt like the run fits were better a little bit than previous weeks. And I know obviously the long explosive happened where he bounced it outside, but I felt like it was more sturdy.
Yeah.
They need to take the next step with that. But that was something where I thought, I think when they look back on it on tape, and Rule said that, I think at one point, it might have been right after the game. I don't know if it was after he saw the film, but he thought that was improved. And so that's something that I think is going to be key, because I would stress what he stressed Monday in his press conference. And that's, even though they have the number one passing stats, Lincoln Riley teams will run it. And they're definitely gonna. I mean, they're averaging more than 200 yards per game on the ground, and so they're gonna bang on that door like everybody else has. And so Nebraska's got to be solid with their fits. They got to tackle really well in space in this game. And I thought there were some things in that game against Northwestern which you can take from that. I also think on offense, the patience with Emmett throughout the game is something that you can carry forward into one like this, where it didn't always come easy, but you kept beating on that drum. He ends up with 27 carries, and even though the third down conversions on the last drive, some of them were like 3rd and 7. I thought early in the game, especially those first 3 drives, they really found some stuff with the run game that could be taken and used this week. So I would say that just I like the patience with Emmett, and the run fits a little bit. I saw improvement. I think those are things, if they can keep with that, gives you a fighting shot.
Shafe brought up something yesterday. Sorry, Ravi.
Oh, you're good.
That was interesting, because I've had a couple guys on social media. One of them, Austin, is always talking to me about how he quietly likes Dylan in the clutch, right? Kind of when his back's against the wall, or 2 minutes, or is that has he done it enough times where you think that's becoming a thing that we can appreciate?
Well, yeah, I think so, because we just get a small sample size with football, unfortunately. They only get 12 regular season games so far. You've had 8, and he's had 2, drives where if you want to actually count Michigan State, when they were it felt down and out there a little bit late in the third quarter, and then he hit the big pass to Barney, he's kind of had like 3 drives like that where things looked bleak. People were probably talking him down on social media for some plays that had happened, and he responds. And I think one of the things that's interesting about Dylan is he's talked about this. I asked him yesterday about it, is like during the off season, guys will visualize things. Of course, that's been done forever. But he visualizes stuff that can go wrong too, and like how you respond to it. Like, so he kind of has tried to train his mind throughout the off season for how to deal with adversity, knowing that it's not going to be all ice cream and sprinkles like on a game day. You're going to have those moments where it's tough, and he shows that.
Do you like
he shows that, like,
Here's some sprinkles.
I like sprinkles. I'd throw some gummy. You ever throw some gummy bears on there too? Like
I am not wasting good gummy bears on trashy ice cream. I eat the gummy bears plain.
First of all, what's wrong with you?
What do you mean?
You don't like ice cream?
It's highly overrated.
Out of your mind. You're
gummy
out of
bears
your mind.
are
You're
sensational.
out of your mind. Listen, I'm here to agree that the combination of gummy bears and ice cream is not for me, but ice cream is phenomenal.
Okay, so ice cream was a bad example. I should have said like
I do like the sprinkles. It's kind of cute. He's like sprinkles. Even though I feel like we're too old for that.
Totally off topic here.
I'm not too old for that. I'm sorry.
But so my wife used to work at a hotel that College World Series teams would stay at, and they had like a breakfast bar with pancakes and everything like that. And she'd like make the pancakes fresh for them. If they lost, she'd look at them and go, "Sprinkles are for winners."
That's right.
Wow. All right, B. You're validated. Eat all the sprinkles you
BC's
want.
a winner. He gets sprinkles.
Wow. All right, back to young Dylan.
I would say yes to your question with some sprinkles on top of my answer.
Oh shoot.
Dylan would definitely get sprinkles after last week. So BC, I've been asking this question all week about how people felt about the offensive game plan. Seems like you were okay with how it went and sticking with Emmett as much as they did last week. Do you think there's a way against a USC team that isn't going to limit possessions to get Dylan and Emmett in a groove together at the same time earlier?
I mean, that's the ultimate question. You got to find some stuff, in that passing game in the intermediate that you feel like you can, where you can take advantage of them. But I don't mind too if you go heavy with Emmett and you're trying to get. The thing about Emmett Johnson the last month or so is when you give him the football, even on the plays that haven't been that well blocked, he's managed to usually every other carry he's going to get you something where, like, if you give that guy the ball 2 times, you're probably going to be 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 type situations. And I think like this offense feels pretty good about Dylan and those receivers, what they can do in those spots. They're coming off a game where they just had a possession to win it, where they had 4 of those kind of 3rd and mediums they converted. And so I'm not saying it's just like run Emmett 1st and 2nd down all game long. Obviously that's not what's going to happen, but I can see where you do still lean on number 21 and you kind of bank on the idea that you're going to get into good down and distances. And then Dylan has said it throughout the season, 3rd downs, the down you got to shine as a Big Ten quarterback. And I think that this is going to be a game where that's everything. And there's, both sides I think are going to get their chances to get off the field on those 3rd and 4 type spots and who can do it the most. I'm looking at USC, they're 47th in 3rd down defense, so they're all right. Nebraska's 36th in 3rd down offense. So that's the spot. Get yourself in some positions where you're not having to protect on 3rd and 9 in this game, and avoid some of the thing that killed them in the first half on Saturday against Northwestern was they had 2 great drives going, and then they had just 2 massive negative plays that just cropped up. One of them was just unfortunate. You almost hate to bring it up. It's the sack when Teddy, I think, buckled on him, and you had the 8-yard sack. But then, Emmett had like the 6-yard loss on the next possession when you were inside the 35. And so those are the plays you just somehow, some way, you can't have those massive losses when you've got it going downhill like they sort of did last week. And I think that kind of disrupted that game.
When you look at, because there's some serious stats, I'm just kind of running through a few of them, and I don't hate analytics. Sometimes I just use them to pit it against what I actually see. And this is also coming from a knucklehead that every week on Huddle finds tendencies and ratios. So take this with a grain of salt. Do you feel like, is there a disconnect between USC's offensive data, especially their advanced analytics, and actually what you see when you watch them, or do they kind of line up? I have a follow-up too based on the response.
I don't know. I mean, they some of their numbers are definitely skewed by those first couple weeks. I mean, that really lifts them up in some of the rankings. Everybody played teams kind of like that, but that helped them out. The thing about their group is, and Butler said it, and this is my takeaway. They had those running back injuries, and you're reading about, oh, they're down to their third guy, they're down to their fourth guy. You're like, okay.
Which, by the way, I think they're playing, but it's just me.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, they can put whoever in there, and they still got a dude who's talented, who's like a high 3-star, 4-star type guy that can really play. And so that's what stands out about their offense to me. I think Maeva obviously has evolved as a quarterback since his first start last year. I think he's at 8 percentage point higher completion rate than he was a season ago. I do think, though, and this is where you hope Nebraska can get busy. If you can get some pressure on him, they got to get a little more pressure on him. He will give you a few chances, and that's where the Huskers have to capitalize. If you go back to that game a season ago in Los Angeles, I know, again, his first start and all that, but that game was lost by Nebraska because of the red zone and because they had 3 or 4 passes, frankly, they should have intercepted, that not only did they not pick off, they turned into like big USC plays. And so I think he's going to have a couple moments like that. He's a more polished quarterback this year than last, but he's still going to put a couple up where it's like, you're going to have a chance to make them pay for it. And in those moments, Nebraska has to make the play they didn't last year. So I didn't really answer your specific question there, but that's what I think of with Maeva. I think he's a really good quarterback, and he can get in a groove sometimes. But there are moments where you'll see a little what we saw, I think, at that game at the Coliseum.
It just seems like, and obviously studying Lincoln for so long and SC, that there's something that happens during and in games where they're not as efficient or games play out differently than the offensive numbers say. And I can't just pin it on the defense, and I'll get to them in a bit here, but I don't know if it's the sequential play calling. I don't know if it's I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's the same sort of disconnect why the fans have yet to really embrace somebody that's been as successful as Riley has been, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Their fans are tough on him.
Yeah, they are. I think they expected him to just waltz in and, get to 10, 11 wins right away. And I also think they probably did something that's been done around here. You underestimate this league sometimes, like how physical it is, the grind. Obviously, it's tough for them with some of the travel they're in. Like their 11 a.m. kick at Illinois and all that stuff. But I think their fan base probably undersold how tough this league is week in, week out. I think a lot of people do that, honestly. I think that's what Rule tries to tell people a lot, and I agree with them on it. It's one of those leagues where there's hidden games in there that beat you up that people don't recognize. It's that game like against the Michigan State or somebody where maybe they're not the best team, but it's a fight, and you still feel it the next day, and all that wears on you. And I think that's what they've had to kind of deal with, in this league, which is why it's a benefit to them that they're coming off a bye. They've had some time to heal up and kind of get their minds right and get ready for this stretch run. And they're thinking they can be a playoff team if they put it together too still. So they're going to come in with a fresh mind. And I know Nebraska's fired up for this crowd to be behind them and all that too. I think USC is going to come and embrace that as well. So that's what should make it interesting.
BC, when you're looking at Southern Cal's offensive numbers and they can seem super daunting, how much do you put into the fact that against common opponents, they scored 45 versus Michigan State, Nebraska scored 38, they scored 31 against Michigan, Nebraska scored 27, so not largely different offensive outputs against common teams, And then in 3 road games, they're averaging 29 points as opposed to their 42. Like, how much stock do you put in that as you try and figure out what to expect from them on Saturday?
Yeah, I think you do some. They just haven't been as good away from home. And, the thing is Nebraska can't do inside their walls is, I think, put any stock in it. It's just like you got to go into it like you're going to get the best version of USC but kind of just that's where you start, and then you kind of focus on yourself. Like, how do we get the best version of us, to max out? And if, Rule says this every week, it's like if they're just flat better, so be it. That happens sometime in sports. But if you go put your best product on the field, I think, and maybe it's what Damon's getting at with the disconnect and sort of the choppy play from USC. If Nebraska can play its best football for even like 3.5 quarters in this game, they'll be there. They can win this thing. It's that question of, can Nebraska get past its own choppiness that has sort of popped up in mid quarters? And I understand this is the Big Ten. The other team's got scholarship guys too. They're going to make a run at you. We have to factor that into that conversation. But there's also been some football parts from Nebraska's own end that they would say, when you look at the film, yeah, there's been a bad quarter or so that has just crept up in some of these games. And if they could take a baseball bat to that on Saturday and play more complete in those middle parts the whole way, I like Nebraska's chances if that's the team that shows up.
BC, when you're taking a look at kind of Coach Eckler and his impact, and you had to compartmentalize it, are you taking the overall effectiveness of the actual special teams play or the infectious behavior that those guys constantly seem to exude? Can you separate the two, or they go hand in hand?
I think they hold hands, because it's just like such a mindset he brought, like from day one, to that those guys, I think, are like, I'm in on this. Like, okay, we're going to be good at this. Like, it's just like you can't just always like say it and then do it, but he has the track record, and then he's got the brain for it. Like, he's just such a good, a scheme guy, and does little things I don't even understand that are going to work. And he sees it on film. He sees an opening or a crack that an opponent gives their unit, and they take advantage. I mean, you've got like Urban Meyer breaking down like Kenneth Williams' return, and stuff that just looks sort of standard to us. There's everybody doing their own part on that. Like getting good blocks and holding them, and just like Kenneth Williams knowing where to trust his blocks on that. And that's some coaching that goes on to make a play like that happen. But I think it started, your question, Damon, with like one of his first press conferences. I've said this before, but it reminded me of the old Tim Miles quote, like, don't put that crap on me. Like when the Huskers were having the good season, like, whatever the history's been, that's not on my shoulders. And Eckler had kind of a line like that. Like, I know walk-off field goals. I know, like, being number one in, a punt coverage and kick and punt returns and all that. That's what I know. And he spoke that to their guys, and they're like, all right, that's what we're going to be now. And so the thing that was awesome from that game was that punt by Archie that was 53 yards in the third quarter, and there's 5 Huskers around the Northwestern return man. And he gets nothing on it. I mean, that to me sums up what he's done as much as anything.
Don't put that crap on me.
BC, as you look towards the game on Saturday, what stylistically do you think this needs to look like if Nebraska comes out with a win?
I do think they've got to be that rugged football team that leans on them a little bit with the run. I'm not just like run the damn ball guy, like saying it like that, but I think it's got to be Emmett's one of the best guys. I feel like he's one of the best guys on this roster. I think he's kind of in the groove. I think you lean on that when you can, and when it's going well, keep going with it. So I'd like a heavy dose of number 21. Get yourself into third and manageables when you can, And I think they've got to put some heat on Maeva. It's got to be a game where he feels uncomfortable early on, maybe like first, second series, someone busts through there, sort of like, Javen hurdling a guy and getting Aiden Childs in the first game. That was a tone setter. That was like a shot to the other side, like, hey, this is what we have on our mind today defensively. And Aiden Childs, I don't think, got that out of his head the rest of the day. And so this can't be a game where it's just about PFF stats on quarterback hurries where you're in the area or something. They got to hit him a little bit and knock him around and make him feel that pressure.
It's interesting. Which side would you pick as more telling or revealing of the stats? So Nebraska is top 25 in points per game defensively. Okay, they give up 19.6 points per game. There's two teams ahead of them in Michigan and Northwestern that give up 17-4 and 18-1 respectively. Nebraska scored 10 more points than what they're giving up on average against two teams that are defensively ranked ahead of them in points per game. Does that say more about the questions we have about Nebraska's offense? Or does the fact that they're only giving up 19.6 per game defense say more? Is it more perplexing about the questions that we actually have about the defense?
Man, that's what when you're saying that, you've got a point there. I know. Are you which side of the ball are you aiming that at?
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, right. But it's neither. It's just the narratives that surround both units are different. Then I pit it against what the. So I look at, okay, what are the offenses actually doing against our defense that are supposed to be pretty good, and what are the defenses doing against our offense that are supposed to be doing? The narratives that surround both units are drastically different, though, I think.
Yeah. I think both units honestly have taken their turns taking some arrows from people.
I could see that.
I think the offense, I don't know, there was maybe an expectation it was going to come a little easier with less choppiness in the water, I guess.
I think my point is I think the defense never got the benefit of the doubt like the offense and the special teams to start the season.
Yeah. Oh, I think people probably in August when they were thinking about the defense, they're like, okay, it's probably going to be a work in progress. I don't really know about this defensive line. Heard the hell on wheels comment, but we'll see. And so I think the people who have been reasonable have always kind of expected that was going to be a unit where some guys are working it out on the fly a little bit. I mean, you've got some guys who are playing way more significant snaps than they've ever played in college football. I think the offense, honestly, has probably taken the brunt of more criticism that I've seen, in part because we did probably build up in the offseason that the O-line was like a strength, and they've had their ups and downs. And I think the sacks, the sacks in football is such a play that is so demoralizing. And when you have like a game where you give up 9 sacks, and then there was Michigan where you felt like they really got their horns out and got after Raiola. I think because of that and some of those specific plays, they've probably taken criticism that doesn't exactly match with, they're actually like 31st in scoring offense, nationally. So, I mean, they've put up points. They've put up 35 a game. They've made a step. I guess it's now, can they make that next step? And we'll see what they're made of here in November. That's the beauty of it. They have a chance to do that.
BC, this last one for me on this, you bring up those scoring stats and things like that, and I tend to agree with you. But I also know that people have been super frustrated with the offense, and particularly in some of the last few games. Like, what do you think we're measuring the offense against? Because it seems like what we've seen isn't good enough, even though it's dramatically better than it has been the last 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're measuring it against the idea of what we thought the O-line could be like just like kind of it was going to be that group because it was so veteran laden. I think there was a perception going into the season that they would just I guess own some games a little bit more than they have sometimes. And it's been up and down. Like I said, there's been some good things in there too. But I think that's what it's being weighed against is that idea like in the summer, like, okay, this is the year where I feel like the strength of this team can be up front. And sometimes it has felt, it's felt hard. Like on some short down and distances, it's felt hard. Like, is Nebraska, do you have confidence in them on that 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 that they're going to get it? Some of those situations. And so I think that's what they're being judged against is that idea of people thought it might come a little easier. Maybe that was unfair. This is Big Ten. It's hard. And, you know, they've had some injuries up front, but I think that's what people are putting, they're weighing the results against that summer perception, I guess.
Let me ask you, I'll get you out on this, BC. And I asked Shafe a similar question as kind of the Nebraska temperament of the running back room over the last, I mean, he's pretty passionate about it. And so I asked him the question, we seem to be okay with, we like Emmett a ton. Some will even call him Nebraska's best offensive player. I don't feel like we felt like that at the beginning of the season, even though Coach Holgerson had him. He got all the credit for, quote unquote, finding EJ on the bench last year, which I don't agree with either. But why do you think we're so reluctant to give Coach Barthel any credit openly?
Yeah, I guess it's
do you feel like that? I don't want to put that on you if you feel differently. It feels like to me he doesn't get any credit for the development.
Yeah. I think there is some of that out there. I think that's a true. You're reading what a lot of people seem to say or suggest sometimes. I think he's done a good job. And I don't know if I'm in the minority on that. Like if you look at last year, how he developed, Dante Dowdell, everybody was crying when he left. Going into the summer last year, he was not a known quantity at all. Like, I mean, he was a guy who had a lot to learn, a lot to grow in, and was like 4th on the depth chart. He developed them into a nice 1-2 combo with Emmett. I honestly think this year they've got some guys behind EJ that can get some stuff done. It's just that Emmett's like, it's like what Damon said the other day. You're in these close games. Who are you going to play? You're going to go to the guy who's your top dog, right? Like, and you wouldn't want it any other way. There are certain games where it's like, we are going to have to lean on this guy for 25 carries. And so we don't see as much of Mosey or Mekhi Nelson. I'm not saying they don't need to keep pounding the pavement and see what they can get in the off season to add another element to that room. They can go do that. I think they were working on that last off season and it didn't work out. We all know that. But you have right now one of the better running backs in the conference and nationally. And they've got some young guys behind him that are coming along. And if you can add to that in the off season, you've got something pretty good going. So amongst the question marks or things to talk about, running backs is not like the biggest thing for me. I think they got one of the best players at that position. He's still healthy. And some other guys might actually have more to their game than we know. They just haven't had as many reps somewhat because Emmett's been so good and you've been in all these close games.
That's our guy, Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, B.
That is Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. For the record, Emmett Johnson, 5th nationally in rushing the football.
Yeah. Has the running back room exceeded your expectations?
As a whole, yes. It is weird because this is what I expected it to look like. I thought we'd see more of Mosey and of Nelson. So I thought maybe this level of effectiveness split across more guys, not Emmett being this guy. I mean, I was pretty...
You saw Emmett last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we had the sentiments about the running back room we had this year.
I have
right?
famously said it was only fine,
Right?
but I like Mosey a
So,
lot.
I mean, most people did.
Yeah.
This isn't an indictment. This is
this
is just fact finding.
And I'm being honest about what I thought of the room.
Right. So we weren't enamored with Emmett, even though we saw him last year.
Yeah. I thought Mosey was going to end up being the best running back in the room.
We thought we liked Mosey. We thought we liked Mackay.
Still do.
Okay. But we had these questions about the running back room. It was like the second or third room maximum in terms of ranking of areas of concern. They were in everybody's top 3. So we're looking at, we knew what we thought Emmett was because we gave all the credit to Dana for finding him last year. We thought we liked, you mentioned Mosey. We mentioned Mackay, how I feel about Mackay. And then we see the results. How can we not give Coach Barthel credit for development?
Well, you have
those aren't leading questions, right? Like, it just is what it is.
If I am being honest about what I thought about the room before the season, and I see what the room is now, particularly Emmett, that credit has to.
I love the little passive-aggressive disclaimer. He's part of the development. He doesn't get a set-aside.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I've seen more of the development from Emmett because we've seen more of him.
Okay.
So I want to make the distinction of.
I got you.
And I don't have previous data points with the other 2 guys, and I do with Emmett. So I'm using him as the main example here. He is a much better runner. I tweeted this a few weeks ago that this is not the Emmett Johnson we saw last year.
Okay.
It's not. Like,
I agree. I completely agree.
Different looking guy.
I completely agree.
I did not know he was capable of some of the things he's done this year. Yeah. I did not know it was in there. Otherwise, I would have thought he was better than I did. I certainly didn't think we'd be 8 games into the season and he'd be 5th nationally in running the football. I did not think that it was – I didn't imagine there was a game this season in which he would carry the ball 27 times. He would have more carries than Dylan had pass attempts and that we would win that football game. Then that wasn't on the table for me at all. And that's not to mention that Isaiah Mosey became a running back 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And is already contributing at a D1 level. That matters. That Mackay Nelson hadn't had a carry, and we still like him when he comes into the game, right? Like, that all matters as well. Not to mention, like, people bring up Dowdell. You know how many carries Dowdell had at Oregon?
Do you know how much better Dowdell left than when he got here?
You know how much better he was from spring to fall from the time he got But do you know how many carries he had at Oregon off the top of your head?
13.
17.
Okay.
So, like, he wasn't a known commodity when he got here. 600 yards and 12 touchdowns for Dowdell last year was a huge victory in development for E.J. Barthel. It was. He had 17 carries for 90 yards at Oregon. He was a completely unknown commodity. He came here, was a big contributor to a team that made a bowl game, and then he moved on. That's totally fine. And either he was good the whole time and we're sad that he moved on, or he was never good. And so what are we doing here? Like, the narratives around Dowdell don't make any sense. The narratives around Emmett Johnson don't make any sense. And the narratives around EJ certainly don't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why we're reluctant. And maybe it's because we're not getting
like the blue chip recruits.
Yeah, I mean, Kewan Lacey is apparently pretty happy at Ole Miss, right?
Well, and listen, I don't know why people point to him as a failure of Nebraska's recruiting. He was committed here, and then all of his hometown schools offered him.
I kind of like Tim's point about the other guys that Coach Barthel has a hand in recruiting too.
So I was talking to him about this at one of the high school games we were at. I think it was at one of the West Side games. And he's like, you realize
that's cool. You and Tim are buddies.
Oh yeah, we end up at high school games a lot together and just
that's cute.
You know, hang out, talk about football. It's good stuff.
That's cute.
But he I was surprised at anybody. He was telling me, he's like, do people not realize that guys like Trey Taylor, if you get rid of EJ, your relationship with Trey Taylor becomes a lot more precarious. And some of these other big time recruits that Nebraska's brought in, like, you may not like the recruits in the running back room, although I would argue, I mean, I know you really like Jamarion Parker.
I liked him. I liked the story come out of high school.
Coming in, yeah. Don't know what he's going to end up being. You liked Mackay and that, you know, that eye and that development there.
I still like his temperament.
Absolutely. And you see him when he gets opportunities, he runs well. I like the way he runs, right?
Yeah.
And so just because the opportunities haven't been there doesn't mean that that's not a good running back. We don't know.
They got a lot of guys like that.
I know this is an extreme example, but like, did Thurman Thomas not giving Barry Sanders opportunities mean Barry Sanders wasn't ever any good?
No, I understand.
You know what I mean? Like, I get that's extreme, but sometimes you have to give the extreme example.
Relative to their talent levels, it's not. I mean, people are smart enough to get the analogies.
Yeah.
And if
they aren't, that's a them problem.
Yeah, you got to stop talking to us.
But, like, I don't know anybody that would think Barry Sanders is less talented than Thurman Thomas, right? Yeah. Like, that's pretty clear cut. But you sit here and you go, okay, so I think Mosey is the most talented guy in that room. I really do. Like, that's how I feel about Mosey as a runner. But Emmett Johnson's currently the best running back in that room. Makai Nelson has a ton of natural talent as well. Like, that's a good room. Mm-hmm. We just haven't seen it yet because Emmett Johnson's the 5th leading rusher in the country. Come on.
I'm just looking for some insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because he doesn't say a ton, or is it the big time recruit thing? Because if you're talking just development, hard to argue.
Yeah.
Like, he's much like learning to run duo and the split zone and like pressing the point of attack. Like, he's just like the toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you ask some of those guys about like just the practice rigor, and I get it, I don't know where it came from, but did you catch Coach Rule when he said, contrary to popular belief, we're not practicing the guys too hard, we believe in rest? Where did that? Who would know how hard they like?
Also, I had people been saying that.
I hadn't heard that.
That wasn't a narrative. Usually, when he's addressing,
I will say, if you ask the guys, they're gonna be like, "This guy's crazy."
I don't want to be that guy. Didn't you all think T.O. was nuts? Going down to Miami, you all thought he was nuts and that he'd overworked you
every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the guys don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently some of the times have been extended. Sometimes it just happens. You're out there longer than you thought. You'll be fine.
You guys fresh against Miami?
Yeah. I try to tell it to these guys. Like, so he's off a half hour. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
40 minutes.
Listen, telling time is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
You got the analog and nobody wears a watch anymore. It's like,
Joe got away from me.
Shoot.
What else you doing?
Nothing. Let's.
I got 2 more classes throughout the day, or 3 for some guys. Never more than 3. I mean, nobody's doing 4 classes in a day.
No. Well, no, because you get like 1 in the summer.
Well, you take 15 or 18 hours. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
The most you probably have in a day is 9 hours.
Oh yeah, because you split it.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably for most people, it's 2 a day. Because they get a couple credits in the summer, so they don't have to front load their fall season.
Yeah, you're good.
They're good to go. It's fine. STB, I'm Ravi, Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Fall into fearless savings this October in Edwards Nissan with upfront deals you can point to. Lease the 2025 Nissan Sentra SV starting at $249 a month for 36 months with $0 down. Sleek design, smart tech, and incredible efficiency. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Nissan.
DBK. Got to give a shout out to Kelsey Fiend. Lexi, you got to. And the Stivvy Slide, you got to go with Stiverance.
I mean, Jordan Larson, of course, classic. Nicklin Hames, great setter.
Great call there.
Appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm kind of new to Husker Volleyball. She's teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
So I have to say Lexi Rodriguez, she was a stud here. And then shout out to Mary Beeson, the captain last year.
Absolutely. Great calls, guys. All right.
Yeah, he's doing great. His conditioning is where it needs to be. He's been full go. We have not had any restrictions on rink for probably 6 weeks. So he's in a good spot. Like I said, Oogie was good to get him out there. He's been very limited in practice. We're going to need Oogie this year with his body and his size. Jared, I thought, finished off the game well. I didn't like how he played early with the turnovers, but, we're going to need that in our front line. I thought Leo played well. You can see how well he moves. We put him in as a first sub on the front line in the second half, and I thought he gave us really good minutes out there.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I would ask every single Husker fan that's going to be at the game to be as loud and as crazy and as disruptive as they can be, and we're going to try to do the same with how we play and how I call the game. But we need every bit of help we can get. Obviously, you play at home in front of our crowd, in front of our people. On a night game, we want to take advantage of that opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how our defense plays, how our defense executes against a really good offense and a really good play caller.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, make sure you get to bbbsmidlands.org to check out all the ways that you can contribute to mentoring young people. It just takes 4 hours a month, and you don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up, and Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands will help you out along the way. You're never doing it alone. bbbsmidlands.org is where you learn more and sign up today. DB,
what do you want now?
I have a question for you.
What?
It's a running back question.
Oh, fudge.
Somebody brought it up in the chat, and I'm curious what you think. They said, I don't really ever watch a running back and immediately think to credit position coach. Seems like the position most natural instincts, and EJ's toughness is his best trait, which can't be taught.
That's not true.
Please elaborate.
It's just not. I mean,
the toughness part, or that it has the most natural instincts of the position? Because I do think toughness can be tough to
absolutely.
Teach. Yeah.
Ask AG.
Oh, okay.
Ask him on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He got considerably tougher. Mm-hmm. Super gifted. Way tough.
Yeah.
Running style, pad level, reading blocks, patience. Some is natural.
Mm-hmm.
It can be pretty innate. Some is actually taught.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was not, and maybe I'm not a good example, just because of whatever people think of the career. But I only played running back 1 year before I got to Nebraska.
Sure. Yeah.
Literally 1 year.
Yeah. You
I played it my
quarterback
senior
before,
year.
yeah, right?
Yeah. So everything I learned was basically taught.
Mhm.
And now, and you'll get guys, even with a guy, let's take, who's a good one? Darren Diedrich.
Oh, okay.
Had some natural skills.
Sure.
A lot of credit goes to Coach Solich. Coach Solich gets a ton of credit for a lot of guys that were way gifted. I mean, nobody looked at Doug DuBose and like, ooh, look what Coach Solich did with him.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Mike Rozier about from Corrigan to Solich. Like both really good guys. Learned a lot from both. Mike Rozier won the Heisman.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit of a misnomer.
I would
You just
agree.
don't get the ball and run.
I also don't like. I don't know how you.
I actually think it's a very difficult position to evaluate in high school.
I agree.
think quietly running back is a very sneaky position to project.
Because in high school, if you are just more physically gifted than people, a lot of times that's hard to project how that translates to college, right? Like, because a lot of running backs you see like, oh, he's just bigger, stronger, faster.
Look at Dan Alexander.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of coaching and teaching that went on with Dan.
I mean, I don't know how you just don't look at, like, that's part of the reason I brought it up with Emmett earlier is in being a different guy. He has, like, this year, he has not looked anything like he looked in the previous 2 seasons where we saw him play, right? 23 and 24.
Ask Tate if he's learned anything as running back. He's way good, right?
Oh, way better than he was.
Way natural, right? Ask him what he's learned.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, he's a way better running back right now than he was at the beginning of last year. I know that.
Just the nuances. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there really is. And
ask Alvin Kamara, who is converted to a full-time running back after playing some split and wide out and slot.
I think one of the biggest things with Emmett is that's a guy who I think a lot of people, and reasonably so, said, hey, I don't necessarily love his vision.
Yeah.
That has gotten way better at that. And vision is probably one of the things we think is least teachable.
Yeah.
Right? When people talk about vision, they think that's like an innate thing.
I mean, I'm not going to pick at it just because I get the general premise. But sometimes we confuse feel and vision. Right?
Okay. So explain the difference there.
So feel would be, who said it the other day? It was beautiful. They were like, hey, if such and such gets over the top, then that means cup. Who are we talking to?
Must have been MRI.
It might have been.
If you're talking like that,
it might have been Michael Rose. Yep, it might have been MRI. Where feel is for flow, especially if you run like a lot of zone, where you get guys where you say, "Oh gosh," like just how you look at James Cook. His feel for the schematics of what his team is doing is at a high level. Now he's gifted.
Yeah.
But he understands the nuance. Christian McCaffrey is probably people are going to take this wrong because he's about as athletic and talented as anybody. But his natural evolution to just be an every down, get 4 yards and snap it again guy versus I can crease you like I did every 5 yards or every 5 carries at Stanford is different. Like there's some of those things that are learned. So there's plenty that can go on. And even versus odd front, or
like some guys have a better feel versus an even front versus
odd
front.
Where's the next break possible?
So here's the hole that my offensive line creates, but where are the
where's my next greatest chance at an opening, and what's my key, right?
So would you describe feel versus vision as feel is almost the like knowing the internal timing of when you need to hit that hole?
How long to press a point of attack, where
kind of that change of speed,
patience.
Okay.
You watch EJ run duo now. That's from repetitions. Watch AG run counter. He could do it in Green Bay. It looked different than in Seattle.
Yeah.
Green Bay, he could do it in his sleep because those guys up front, it was so smooth and rhythmic. Like, oh yeah, there's. He can see his vision didn't change.
Sure.
The feel for the context of the play is different, though. You don't hit every play with the same gear.
Right. Yeah.
You just don't.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it's the change up in baseball. It's the change of pace in basketball when you kind of keep a guy on your hip and like
you know one of the things that's really, really impressive for Derrick Henry, who in college was kind of a downhill kind of hit it, split it guy. His rhythm and pace for downhill run game, whether he's out of the gun or not, is incredible to watch.
Yeah.
He has learned a ton since leaving Bama, and he was pretty good when he left there.
He's kind of a funny one because he sort of falls into that category of guys that are sort of hard to evaluate in high school because he was not playing at a high level in high school. He was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. And so you sit there and you go, okay, yeah, this guy's a freak, but I don't know what that looks like against SEC defenders. And then you go, okay, he's a freak. I don't know what that looks like against NFL defenders. And if he hadn't learned, like it's easy just to continue to say, oh, well, I guess he just really is bigger, stronger, faster than everybody. And he is. But if he hadn't learned the things you're talking about, we wouldn't talk about him the way we do.
100%.
Like he's not the guy that goes for 2,000 yards and that's still at age, however, 30, 31, whatever he is now. They're just like, I guess he's just not going to get old.
Yeah. You know, the ridiculous thing about one of the things that I admire, and I've said this about some other backs in the past, I always like to look at the difference because I just know how hard it is. Like I wouldn't be one of these guys where like your 21st carry look like your first.
Yeah.
There's just something there's a methodology to the training to being able to put your body in stressful situations on repeat mode.
Well, just mentally, right?
You have to train that way. Right.
So you have to like physically condition yourself.
It was Dom. It was an offensive lineman. Might have been Aaron Tate. It was somebody. Or I was talking about the weird thing about EJ. How many times do you watch him get hit from behind and it doesn't really impact him? The knock on wood, the ball never comes out. He gets himself in these awkward.
He does a lot.
Trappy positions, and
yeah. I get kind of like, I'll be honest, I pucker a little because sometimes you see it. I'm like
every time because it's one of the main reasons why I don't like to eat. Right? It's like it's like you just look and you're like, oh
yeah. You've watched enough football that when a guy gets hit a certain way, you're like, oh, ball might come out.
Yeah, and he just right back.
To this point has not.
Like that's a
thing.
It's taught, yes, and he's really embraced it. Like whatever he does. Their regiment, though, and they rep the heck out of duo. I just remember Sharmar when he was talking to Coach Rule, where I thought Nebraska was actually going to have a chance, was these guys just started talking about duo and why they like it and the patience and how Nebraska runs it a smidge different. And he's like, yeah, at NDSU, we call it this, but it's like this. And I'm like, see, that's a guy that has learned to play the
position. Yeah.
It's definitely can be taught.
Good stuff there. We're going to talk to Jessica Coody from Husker Radio Network coming up next. That's CBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
What?
The drive-into fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs. Get $18,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 plus 3.9% APR for 72 months. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4. These starting at $299 a month with zero down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point, and Council Bluffs.
You know, it's tough because they had momentum, you know, and they tie it 21-21, and we went out there and just gave them the ball right back. So that's a tough moment, you know. And you know, Coach Rule talks about complementary football all the time. You know, we got 2 turnovers and 14 points off those turnovers. We gave them the ball twice, and they got 0 points off turnovers. So that's how you measure complementary football. And when Javen got the ball back, got that pick, I mean, Dylan put his helmet on and just sprinted out there. I mean, he was so excited, that the defense got him the ball back and, had the confidence and the poise to, put together probably his best drive that I've seen him. We converted on four third downs, and, he made some great plays. And, then the final play, it's a run pass option, and he made the right decision. Then Emmett, ran hard for 4 yards to get us that touchdown. So.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We try to do that every week. I want to be explosive. I get that. That's fun, but you want to possess the football as much as you can. They obviously are really good up, offensively, and they're going to have their moments. They're going to have their shots. We know that, but we want to control the ball. We want to keep their offense off as much as we can, obviously, but that's going back to just routine plays and converting third downs and scoring touchdowns in the red zone.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here. Yeah, it's not DB anymore.
Sorry,
he got mad at me and just left.
He had Coody
here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Jessica Coody from the Husker Radio Network. Yeah, Jess,
I'm so sorry. It wasn't my choice. DB had to leave.
He just pieced out.
Yeah.
I mean, I see enough of DB, so I'm good with this.
Hey, where were you? Were you seated when you found out that DB used to, or potentially still does, eat glue? Did you find that out earlier this week?
He eats glue?
Yeah, that's just the rumor going around.
He said as a child he did, and
like the crusties off the top of the Elmer's.
No, I think it was live glue. He made it sound like it was.
So he would put it on his hand because he wanted to see the fingerprints off the thing, and then he said sometimes he would then eat it.
I don't even want to know how you got into that kind of conversation.
Well,
he kind of brought it up himself.
No, so I'll tell you how we got there, Jess. So we were talking about the open college football jobs, right? Because Brian Kelly had just got fired, and I was saying that LSU might be the best job in college football, considering the success people have had there that I didn't think were necessarily great coaches. And I may or may not have called Les Miles a glue eater and a grass eater because, he did eat the grass. And I was like, it kind of seems like a glue eater, like one of those kids in class. You're like, that's not quite right. And he's like, well, easy, man. I used to eat glue. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. And then the show departed from whatever it was we were going to talk about.
Yeah, what? Are you wearing leopard print, Ravi?
No, this is a I think this is a Western print.
Oh, okay. Kind of looks like a leopard from my
Oh, yeah.
I could see
on
that.
the stream, it does look leopardy.
I'm a huge leopard print person, but
I was going to say,
I
I
like
can confirm from being up close, it does look more like the vinyl on my grandparents' couch more than anything.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like ski vibes, like you're going to a lodge or something. I don't know. I'm not a big skier. I just liked it, and it's warm. So, and I don't know if DB does this at the studio. He cranks that thing down like cold. He likes it cold in here.
He doesn't have as much control, though. We don't allow him to touch anything inside our studio.
Fair. Hey,
That's
Jess,
the
speaking of that, we are coming off of back-to-back road trips. DB get to the right stadiums both times? Were you 2 for 2?
We haven't even chanced it since then. So since we went to Minnesota 2 years ago, we have a routine, and every single week it's the same, and I make sure that he's there every single week. So yeah, we have not had any issues, but he also has not ventured out on his own. So I feel like we're getting close to that time. He might be ready to try it again, but for now we're just sticking with the same routine. So
Fair. All right.
That's for the best. I think.
I do have a question because I enjoy listening when I get a chance to try to put the earbuds in, especially at halftime, to hear what Rule has to say with you when you kind of pull him off to the side, either coming in or coming out of the locker room, whichever one you usually grab him for. Do you get like a sense? Is he excited to see you in those moments? Obviously, he's like game focused, but does he like seek you out? Does he know you're looking for him, or how does that interaction?
Yeah. No, he's great. And it's also too, we haven't had this many issues, but there has been some times where there's crossover with the TV. And so sometimes we just work it out. But like at Minnesota, the guy that was doing the sideline was just doing it off camera. So a lot of times the TV people will, since we're live and have to hit but Coach he comes right up to me. The first year it was people were waving him, but he sees me, he knows to come over. And yeah, sometimes he's more talkative than others. He was pretty mad, obviously, or I should say disappointed in the first half at Minnesota, but I thought that was one of the best interviews he gave at halftime, so it just, I think, kind of depends, but no, he knows to look out for me. And it's just depends, I think, on how they perform in the first half, on how talkative he is, or how sometimes he's just like laser focused and we're walking, we're not stopping. Sometimes he'll stop. You just got to be ready to roll with it in those situations.
Jess, I'm always curious when, with games like Minnesota and Northwestern, where I think they posed very similar challenges for Nebraska in the way they wanted to play the game. Did you notice anything different about the vibe around the team or the mindset around the team between those two games, or did it, I think as fans, a lot of times we want to say like, oh, well, they must have not been locked in or whatever before Minnesota, but they were Northwestern. Like, do you get any of that when you're on the sideline?
Yeah, I do. I kind of will argue a little bit on the not having the energy before Minnesota. I think they just did a different kind of routine, because at Maryland they were because it was a 2:30 game, a lot of them came out and just did, because they do a lot of things on a game day, and depending on the time of the game, and especially at home, I think sometimes they're utilizing other spaces. They've got a lot of incredible areas that they can kind of get themselves warmed up. I just think we didn't see them as much out there on that night game, because you're also trying to conserve your energy when it's a night game and kick it off. And so I just think it was a little bit of a different warm-up situation. But then I will say, yes, once the game started and it wasn't going right, did not see the kind of juice on the sideline that I just think they were a little shell-shocked that they got punched in the mouth and they weren't punching back. But then I do think it was vastly different. And I think, and Coach Rule, I asked him about this too, because after in my post-game interview with him, a lot of the guys that are the walk-ons or the redshirt guys that get to be on the sideline for the home games that were not, that don't get to travel because you're limited on your travel party roster, they were crazy on the sideline. They were jumping up and down the whole time. They were absolutely bringing the energy. And then, yeah, I think they were made an effort because, look, it's the Big Ten. They've seen it now multiple times. It's not going to be always perfect. That's what's crazy about this team, is that they've won 6 wins and they still haven't put together, their complete game performance, really. And so, I think when things were not going their way against Northwestern, you saw a different kind of approach to how they handled it against Northwestern than they did against Minnesota, definitely. And I think even just throughout the week, you could tell you don't want to let it beat you. Coach Rule's big on, hey, once we get past a game, win or lose, and it's been the whole season, not just Minnesota, but and this team is like this too. They do their Tell the Truth Sundays, and then they close the chapter. And while they're done, kind of have moved on from it, you can learn from it. But you could tell they were. That was the most, I think, ticked off I think this team was, and it just was a different feel. I've been covering this team, and the sideline reporter. This is what, my 4th season, and just the way that they were disappointed in themselves, and not taking anything away from Minnesota, but just that they did not put together the kind of performance that it takes to be able to do the things that they want to keep doing and continue to do and strive for. And so I think they were just more mad at themselves for allowing that to snowball the way that it did. And you could feel it. You definitely could feel it lingering throughout the entire week. And, as a lot of those a lot of the guys, like I talk to Jeremiah Searles every week, and a bad loss like that will linger until you can right it and get back in the win column. And so I think it did. I think it lingered. While they didn't want to let it beat you twice, I think it did fuel them. And then, the energy was definitely different on the sidelines against Northwestern than it was against Minnesota.
You brought up something interesting there about this team not really having put together a 4-quarter game yet this year. I think a lot of people use that as a negative, but I don't know. I feel like you can also flip it the other way, that there's still growth potential for a team that's 6-2 and arguably in as good a spot as anybody kind of predicted they would be at this point. How do you take that when you're like, yeah, would love to have seen them put together a good full quarter, 4 quarters at this point, but they haven't. How do you process that?
I think it's a positive. I mean, yeah, I think with the coaching staff, they know the potential, and you want to start seeing that be put together. But I look at it as, but I'm also a positive Polly. I'm not a negative Nancy. I'm more of a glass half full type of person. And so I think the fact that they've been able to find ways to win in situations that in the past they weren't going to be able to do. And even, the fact where there are times that this team looks dominant, they just have to learn how to put the foot on the throat and keep the pedal to the metal. And, look, teams are not going to lay down just because you go up by 2 scores. And so you've got to keep fighting in that regard. I think they're still learning. I mean, there's a lot of no excuses, but there's still a lot of young players and some guys in some roles that they haven't been in. And so I think they're trying to figure out how do we put that complete game performance together. And, and there's a lot of good teams, a lot of good coaches in this league. So you can't just expect to, blow somebody out just because you put together a couple of big plays. Guys, people are going to fight back. And so I think they're learning that. But I take it as a tremendous positive that this team has not reached their full potential yet. Now's the time, when you go into November, and there's a lot of things on the table for this team. You want to start putting it together, kind of with basketball. You don't want to be playing your best basketball in November, December. You want to put it together in March. I think now's the time you want to start seeing them start putting that together. But I look at it as a tremendous positive that they're 6-2 and off to the best start since 2016 and have not played a complete game performance yet.
Yes, I'm curious just from your perspective on the sidelines and your interaction just with the team too. The conversation coming into the year was always, oh, well, this is such a young team. It's one of the younger, built rosters in the Big Ten, all that sort of stuff. What's the emotional maturity that you've seen through this team through, all the games they've played so far? Because you mentioned earlier the conversation and how the energy level was low during the Minnesota game, and maybe it wasn't the pregame necessarily, but then during the game it felt a little bit low. And even going back to the Northwestern, when someone like Teddy Prohaska goes down, I mean, that can kind of swing your emotions one of two ways, right? You can either rally or sometimes it kind of brings down the energy level on the sideline. How have you noticed this team kind of goes through those emotions, and how have they been able to respond just in the entirety of the season and maybe in some critical moments throughout just key games?
Well, I would have said much better and that it was solid until Minnesota, and I think that's the one kind of glaring blip on the radar or whatever you call it, that I think that it was pretty uncharacteristic with how this team has handled, because even going back to Cincinnati, and that was one of the things I saw in that first game, that you are, again, you're leading and then some things go wrong, and the way that you maybe could see some body language in seasons past, did not see that against Cincinnati. So I've been saying that from the start. I've been really impressed with how this team has handled that. They say it all the time. And even to this, if you walk by or you're listening to the coaching, a lot of times it's next play. What's next? Next play. What's next? Whether it's good or bad. So you can't and I think that's where, maybe sometimes they get hung up on if they have a great play. Well, you can't get hung up on that either. You talk about it a lot. We talk about it a lot. Like, if something bad happens, you got to move on from it. It's the same thing with something good. You have to be able to keep moving forward and not let whatever happened in the past affect you, both whether it's negative or positive. So that's a lot of the messaging that you hear. And that's been talked about, hammered in for this group for a couple seasons now. I just think they're really starting to embrace it, and that culture is in place, and they talked about it in the spring, and it's just their messaging. What's next? Next play. And so going throughout those games that even Michigan, you just felt like they handled some of those things better. And last week against Northwestern, felt like they handled those situations. And Teddy, heart goes out to him. Hate to see a guy that's just battled through it. He knew right away. I mean, I tore both my ACLs. Once I tore the first one, I knew immediately when I tore the second one what happened. Like once you experience, what's happened. So he goes in the tent, he comes back out, and he doesn't even. A lot of times he'll take those guys back into the locker room, and he stood right there, and he was helping talk to Turner, and he was standing right there, and then he comes out in the second half, and he's got street clothes on and ice on his knee, and he's trying to pump up the crowd, and like is constantly having around in those offensive line huddles and talking to Turner or whoever it might be. He did the same thing last year when he was hurt. He was really good about coaching Gunner through those situations. And so I could not say enough about Teddy and the way he handled it, knowing that his career is done. That was it. And so the fact that he's done for the season, and that it just is an awful injury that he's already experienced and been through, and the fact that he knew it and stayed right there and stayed locked in. And there's a lot of those guys on this sideline that I think have handled and tried to make sure that this team responds in the correct way throughout an entire football game, to be able to come out on the other side of games that in the past they were not able to do so. So outside of the one lingering situation at Minnesota, I think this team has been much better and much more mature and emotionally mature at handling these kinds of ebbs and flows and ups and downs of a football game.
Jess, I want to switch gears a little bit here, but still kind of talking about emotional, I guess, growth. I thought we got something from Coach Butler yesterday in his press availability that I don't think we would have gotten a year ago, when he's talking about or answering the question about Sierra Wright and what it meant to him that Sierra Wright recommended him for the defensive coordinator job. We kind of saw a side of Coach Butler that we really hadn't seen publicly. Is that something that, I guess, privately or behind closed doors, we knew there was a little bit more to him, because that's really the first glimpse of it we've gotten as a fan base?
Oh yeah, those defensive backs love him. And, it was fascinating listening to him coach those guys last year and just hearing his communication. I mean, he's coming from the NFL, and he's talked a lot about that, about learning how to, you're talking about coaching pros. And then while you've got some older defensive backs that you can talk to differently now, it's still a different situation. But just to hear the way he coaches and teaches on the sideline, I mean, and he's hard on those guys. But ultimately, I think with Sierra, the reason why he has such reverence for Coach Butler is because Sierra has turned into, one of, you could argue, one of the best players on the defensive side of the ball. And, teams don't throw at him. And, the way that he has evolved through the coaching and teaching of Coach Butler since he's been here, and the culture that's in place here at Nebraska and all of that, just the way that he's grown and matured. But you can see it too, just the way that, since Coach Butler has been the defensive coordinator, and a lot of those guys in the back end are the older guys are the team captains, but he communicates a lot with those defensive backs, Sierra, Deshaun, Marquise Buford, those guys, to be able to also kind of communicate with the rest of the team. But a lot of the things that he's talking about is to those older guys. So he has that comfort, but I also think he has those relationships. He trusts them, and he knows that he can, talk with them and work through things in a way, because he had that year with them. But I'm not surprised. I mean, Sierra is one that he's very appreciative of the spot that he's in now. And he knows that he's not there without the tutelage of John Butler. And so, I think for any coach, right, that's what you want, is for a player to grow and develop and then appreciate the role that you played in that. I mean, I think that shows you why you coach, right? I mean, that's ultimately why guys get into coaching. And so I think that's really what you saw yesterday. Yeah. Was, just, hey, this is why I do it. Right. And for guys like those relationships like Sierra Wright that he's been able to build.
Jess, as the season has progressed, one of those, kind of talking about Sierra and John Butler and all that stuff, who have you seen take the biggest leap in maybe leadership or just being more vocal on the sidelines and kind of being that rallying person when it comes to maybe the in-game or what your interaction has been through practices or what you've seen or conversations you've had? Have you noticed that there have been maybe different names or someone that surprised you that stepped up more than what you had expected, maybe from not necessarily somebody else, but maybe just from what their role is and where they are now?
I don't know if it's surprising, but Sierra is one that's absolutely, I mean, he's going up and down on the sidelines when things are going wrong or even just celebrating other guys. Emmett Johnson's another one of those guys that I think you've seen him not just on the offensive side of the ball, but he comes over and talks to the defense. Rocco is unbelievable at that as well. And how about V9, Vincent Schaefer's? He's just an energy guy. I mean, he's a teammate celebrator, a lot like Ja'Cory Barney. But nobody gets more hype for their teammates like Vincent Schaefer's, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. And I actually brought that up to Coach Roll on the TV show a few weeks ago. But it's almost like Ja'Cory and V9 are like each other on their sides of the ball. What they do to help bring the energy and the juice, but also they're really, really great players. And so I think those, you have to remember, it's hard to believe that, Ja'Cory and Vincent are sophomores, true sophomores. And so the fact that they are such good teammates and, try to keep guys up and hype guys up, but also celebrate when something good happens. There's a lot of that, though. I think that's what's different about this group and why you keep hearing players talk the way that they do about this group and how much they've enjoyed it. I mean, I did another interview with Javen Wright yesterday, and he said this is the best chemistry of a team that I've been a part of. And I think you can see that it's hard to point to one person because it goes throughout the entire football team. And that's why you start to see, with Coach Roll's teams, them really take a step in year 3 is because they do become more player led and they take more ownership in that. And that's a big part of it, is that it's not just one or two guys they're trying to lead the way. It's they're all trying to lead themselves. And I think you see a lot of that on a game day for sure.
Jess, how much of that kind of energy and emotion you get on the sideline do you credit to the addition of Mike Eckler? Obviously, he touches way more than the special teams. And we heard the funny comments of Coach Rule of like, hey, you can celebrate, just don't touch me, man.
Yeah. Well, even the videos on the sideline, like, do you brace for impact too? Like, are you afraid he's coming for you next?
You gotta keep the head
Luckily, I'm behind the fence, so he'd have to hop the fence. But no, I don't even know if it's so much. Yes, I mean, guy likes to celebrate, right? We've seen that. But I don't even know if it's so much just his reactions as it is what a big special teams play does to a sideline. I think that's where the biggest impact is, the juice that those kinds of plays, the spark that it provides. And it's just, I forgot exactly what his analogy was, but again, I'm going back to Jeremiah Searles, but he talked about, the special teams being basically like the heartbeat. I mean, it's like it's what really can make a team go. And I when you need a spark, when you need a something to ignite, it's that's what those special teams plays have done. And you can point to every single game. I don't know if they're 6-2 right now without, special teams and some of the big plays they've made in some of these games. So yes, he definitely brings the energy. And then you can tell some of the players that have really embraced their roles, how fired up they get when they come over to the sideline. But then also I just think when you have those big plays, it just can really change the trajectory, and it just absolutely ignites and gives so much energy to a sideline. And I think that's been probably the biggest impact with Coach Eckler.
Jess, how excited are you to see your good friend Lincoln Riley again?
I really have a lot of respect for Lincoln Riley. He was great to be at Oklahoma. His wife, Caitlin, is incredible. I'm also really close with the wide receivers coach and his wife, Dennis and Tasha Simmons, their son, Cannon. So it was really cool last year when we were at USC. Unfortunately, it was a tough loss, but the way that the tunnel goes, the teams walk up together. And I was standing out there waiting to do some interviews, and Coach Riley and Caitlin stopped and talked to me before he even went in to talk to his team, and just, how are you doing? Good to see you. Can you believe we're meeting in the Big Ten? That kind of stuff. And so, no, they're great people, have a lot. And you want to talk about just a brilliant offensive mind. I've been privy to interview a lot of people that can dive into that. I've seen it firsthand, the way that he can, dissect and put his offenses in the best ways to succeed against any kind of defense. He's absolutely one of the best out there. And so it'll be a good challenge, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this matchup. The 6:30. I've worn black every single day this week, in honor of the blackout. So it's going to be a night game. I think the energy is going to be absolutely electric. It needs to be a lot like the Colorado game last year so that this team can feel it, and it makes an impact. I mean, Tony White, actually, it was him that, and Heinrich Harburg brought this up yesterday when I was talking with him, but they put a graphic on the big screen. I don't know if you guys have noticed that counts and gives credit to how many penalties that the crowd has accounted for. They track it throughout the entire game and then throughout the season. And Coach White actually had brought that up last year. And then Husker Vision, I had passed that along to Husker Vision, and now they do it. And Heinrich said, I think that's one of the coolest things. They put that on the big screen, and you can see how much of an impact that the crowd makes. So I think it's going to be big. It's going to be, again, you don't a lot of times get night games this late in the season. So you just don't take them for granted. And then it's a huge matchup with a lot on the line, as Coach Roll pointed to. It's not just USC that has a lot in front of them. It's meaningful for both these teams. So it's a big matchup. Obviously I have ties to that sideline, but I'm really excited just for the opportunity for Nebraska and to see if they can take another step forward in what's going to be an amazing atmosphere on Saturday night.
You making sure the entire radio crew is decked out in black?
Yeah, in fact, our guy Al at Adidas dropped us off some black hoodies yesterday, so we got to somehow find a way to get it to DB. I guess he can change when he gets here, but yeah, so we've got lined out there. We're ready to roll there. I just got to make sure I've got the layers on, because everybody's scaring me with how they're threatening or kind of saying how cold it's going to be, but I'm ready for it. I'm seasoned. I just got to layer up. So
yeah. Are the Rileys prepared for the cold? Do you text them at all and just say, hey, it's going to be -15 when you get here on Friday. It's going to be brutally cold. The snow's coming down, all that stuff. Try to get in their head.
Heck no, I don't. But they've also played in some cold weather before, so I don't know how big of a emphasis or impact it will make, but they're fully aware. Obviously, this is their second season in the Big Ten. I'm not sure where they played last year at the end of the year, but maybe it will make an impact. But I mean, it's not like it's going to be. What was that game 2 years ago where it was Purdue? I think that it was absolutely miserable, and it was windy, and it felt like it was just shards of glass cutting into your skin every time that the wind would blow. I don't think it's going to be that bad. So.
Well, Jess, I have it on pretty good authority that DB is headed to Lincoln right now, so you might be able to get his hoodie to him.
Oh, nice. All right. We'll try to pass it along to him then.
There you go. Jess, we appreciate the time as always. Stay warm this weekend, and hopefully we get a 100% blacked out crowd.
Yes. You didn't even ask me about any other sport.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to, but Ravi wanted to shut
ahead.
you down soon.
No, go
I know.
for it.
I saw your tweet yesterday that it's your favorite time of the year, the full crossover right now. I mean, this has to be it. How do you keep your brain straight when you're talking to football, volleyball, basketball, and then all the coaches on top of that too? I mean, it feels like you're just having to square away as many calendars as possible to make sure that you know where everyone's going and who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's one of those times where it's one day at a time. You just got to approach what do I have on the schedule today? But no, I brought that up because I'm really excited. Husker wrestling starts. We're gonna have Mark Manning in studio today. DB is a big fan of Coach Manning. So excited for Husker wrestling. They should have a big season. I know he's excited about that group, but no, it's a lot, but I love it. I love November. It's fun. It's crazy. I do have to just go 1 week at a time and then literally write down. I'm a writer. I need to see it visually, not just put it in my phone calendar, but okay, what do I have this week? And then this is how I got to tackle it. But luckily this has these are teams that I've covered now for several years. So I know them a little bit, I guess, now. So it's not as much of a challenge, but it's fun. I love this time of the year, and it's bonkers, but I love crossover season. So here we go.
Well, on top of that too, I mean, do you ever consider when you have those episodes of Sports Nightly where you have 3 or 4 different guests from the different sports coming in, just asking Heinrich Harburg about the basketball team, be like, you dunked once. What's your evaluation of Rink Mass? Did you like his shooting performance?
Yeah, and there are a lot of those athletes and coaches that, I mean, that's what's cool, really, really cool and different. I think that separates Nebraska from a lot of places is the way that the other programs are invested in each other. And, you know, they all talk about Coach Manning, how supportive he is of all the other different programs. You know, the Coach Hoiberg is, he will come in, and when I do the TV show and the radio show with Coach Hoiberg, and he'll ask me about what's going on with every other sport. Like, he wants to stay up to date on everything else, like what's going on with baseball, how's the softball team looking. And so they are truly invested in the other programs, and they want everybody to succeed. And so when, you know, I think it's when you're a coach and a player, you're not always a fan of, you can't always be a fan, but with here, when they're not in their sport, they are fans of the other Husker sports. So I think that's what's great about it. So a lot of them could absolutely break down and talk about the other teams. There's no doubt in my mind.
Jess, next time we'll make sure we get to volleyball, basketball, wrestling, the whole thing.
All right. Sounds good. Bye, Shane.
Give Coach Manning our best. We love Coach
All right,
Manning.
I will.
All right, Jess, we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Jess.
That is Jessica Coody from the Husker Radio Network. Good stuff there from Jess.
Always good.
Always great to talk to Jess.
Is there anyone that probably has to just look at their sheet every single time they get ready for a show and be like, all right, this is who I'm talking to today, more than Jessica Coody?
Absolutely not. She's got to keep there's too much going on.
I think I would.
Maybe Sasha. Sasha maybe
yeah,
does.
True. That is true. Sasha's got a lot of meetings for sure. It
Uh,
would be fun though to be able to look down the list and just be like, all right, which of these? Because Heinrich goes to all these games.
Mm-hmm.
I would have asked Heinrich yesterday, just been like, forget football. We're talking everything else. I want to know your thoughts on the volleyball team. I want the basketball knowledge. I want everything.
I'm sure he's got thoughts on the volleyball team.
Okay.
I would imagine. He was there the other day.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
he was there. He helped with the assist when the ball went astray and got it in the little basket for the kid.
You're watching clips.
Yeah, I'm watching clips. I'm watching them at night.
Watch them at night.
We'll be back more at Sports Live.
The Drive into Fall event is on at Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs. Lease the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn for just $359 a month with 0 down. Fearless fall savings with a massive inventory this October. Or upgrade to Adventure with the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, lease starting at $299 a month with 0 down. Big inventory, bigger savings. Hurry to Edwards Ram and Jeep, Village Point and Council Bluffs.
Yeah, the thing you see with his 12 personnel sets is he has tight ends that can play wide out and tight ends that can play tight end. And so a lot of times when you see that, you know, that's a popular thing that people do in the NFL, but a lot of times you can kind of decipher, okay, this is the U tight end or maybe the more finesse tight end, and this is their blocking tight end, and you can kind of put your pieces of your puzzle together that way. But when you look at their guys, they're pretty equally, the ball's equally distributed to them. They're equally used as blockers. They snipe back across the line of scrimmage. They counter and come back. So that's, you know, it's like when you're looking at players in general, defense or offense, you want it to be as complete as you can be because you're not wanting to be like, okay, this guy can only do this, and now you get a sub and people get a tell for you. So, you know, their 12 personnel grouping is a threat because they could get together and block you, and they could spread out and throw it on you. So I think that's always a challenge.
Centris Federal Credit Union, we understand that the journey of building your own business typically starts with modest beginnings. With a little help from our team of experts and small business loan offerings, you can take your vision and transform it into a more concrete reality. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's Austin. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, make your winning move with Centris Federal Credit Union. They've got certificate and savings account bundles that offer competitive rates when you open a certificate and savings account at the same time. That's two excellent rates that could help you reach your financial goals. Discover more about the certificate and savings account bundle today at centrisfcu.org. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Take a breath.
I can't
read through that fast.
Can't take a breath when I'm talking about bundling savings with Centris.
Bundling savings.
What's in my savings account?
I don't want to talk about the lore of that drop. Don't want to talk about that.
I actually do need to talk to Rico's here as well. He'll be here Friday along with Austin.
Yeah.
Well,
it's my day off, so.
Well, you'll still be here though. That's how you're gonna.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Where else would I rather be than listening to your voice in my head?
7 a.m.
on my day off.
3 more hours.
Don't fire me on my day off, please.
Don't do anything fireable on your day off.
Fair. I did put in our work group chat that I would drink a screwdriver for every Hurrdat Sports employee that would arrive. So
yeah, that could get dangerous for you.
That could be.
That you might have to spread that out.
Didn't you comment and say, "Let's put him in the grave"? I think that's what your reply was.
Maybe that sounds like something I would say. If I didn't, I definitely thought it.
Wow.
As a
Here
joke,
we had a good run.
As a joke, not as a. We shouldn't actually kill Austin.
It's fair. Nice, Shane. On it.
But you can come out here on Friday and meet Rico and Shane and Austin and me and DB, of course. But
Nice.
If you want to join us, Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, we'll have our only live show of the season coming up on Friday. Shane, are you excited to meet some people?
Oh, always. I like it when people show up. It's always a good time here.
I like it when our friends from Omaha Steaks show up. They'll be here as well. You can win a $200 prize pack from Omaha Steaks. It'll be a good time. And, of course, the all-you-can-eat brunch buffet.
Yeah.
Got RSVP at hurrdatsportsbar.com.
I'll be eating a lot.
Yeah, so were you asking me about the food spread?
I was asking you because Dr. Fiance wants to make an appearance if the spread is up to her standard.
We would love it if Dr. Fiance made an appearance.
You're not going to make her say anything on stage, would you?
No, of course not.
I'm afraid DB would.
No,
I think DB might.
I don't think so. He'll probably give her a hard time during the break.
Probably. Yeah.
But he won't make her come up here.
Yeah, if you want to watch just stand-up comedy, DB's
yeah.
going to be doing bits, especially at my expense, more likely than not.
Yeah, because he has to keep himself occupied and entertained while he's doing this. So
right.
He the breaks are going to be where you get your money's worth for sure.
That is.
I think it's going to be accurate.
You also get to see all the little DB-isms in person too. Which I don't know if you've noticed a new one. I know you've noticed it when he helicopters the little USB thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He goes through phases where he does that.
Yeah, no, that's broken. We can't use that anymore. So tried to use it Saturday for the post-game show. Didn't work.
Yeah, whatever.
Thanks, DB. Gotta whip that thing.
I know.
Gotta be careful there.
Yeah. Willow Smith in that thing.
Talk about waves.
Wow. Whip it back and forth. So come join us. It'll be fun. I think you're going to meet a lot of the Hurrdat Sports crew.
Sauter will be live.
Sauter will be live. Kenny Bell will be here.
Whoa.
If you buy some Hall of Fame merchandise on site, maybe he'll even sign it for you.
Whoa.
I don't know. Maybe get a little Kenny Bell autograph on your Hall of Fame merch. Lots of things going on.
Be cooler if he spilled something on it. Kenny Bell spilled something on my shirt.
Why? Why is that cooler?
I don't know.
I think
sound cooler to me.
You might even get a picture with Kenny.
Ooh,
maybe.
Lots of opportunity.
Lots of opportunities to
But
hang out
do
with
RSVP.
people.
RSVP.
Yes. RSVP so we make sure we have enough food.
Are we limiting now? Limited space?
We're
getting there, right?
Down to some limited tables. Yeah, we've only got, I think, a handful of spots left. So make sure you RSVP to make sure you get your spot. And it's free to RSVP. The breakfast does cost $15, but it is all you can eat. So make sure you get in for that. Let's take a quick break here. We're going to talk to Jacob Padilla about volleyball, about basketball, about all sorts of things, everything that Jacob is an expert in, which is a lot of things. Not the Green Bay Packers, though, because nobody cares about them.
Nope.
That's awesome. I'm Ravi. We'll be back to finish up Hurrdat Sports Live.
Fearless savings this October at Edwards Chevrolet with 0 down sign and drive deals waiting for you. Get $12,000 off MSRP on the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1 LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive or lease for $555 a month with 0 down, strength and upfront savings. Or drive the 2025 Chevrolet Trax front-wheel drive LS, lease starting at $299 a month. Sign and drive with 0 down, smart design and modern tech that fits your lifestyle. Don't wait. Fearless October savings are happening now at Edwards Chevrolet.
I think I'm not a big momentum person. I think I tell the guys all the time. I think they have confidence. I think it's just, there was 2 third downs in a row there where we caught the ball and we were like half a foot from a first down. And one, I thought we actually got it to Emmett, and the other one, Dane caught it. It was like 2 yards short. And in a different game, maybe I would have gone for those. But all the 4th and 1s had been really hard to get, and then the one we didn't get, I said, hey, let's punt the ball and use Archie as a weapon and play defense. So I just think it's always, you're just kind of a step or two away from getting yourself going. But I hope they feel good about it. I hope they feel good about the fact that we were able to get an empty and drop back and throw the football, and we had good runs and guys made key plays and key times, and so that was kind of a weird second half in that. We drove the ball down in the red zone twice and came away with no points, in the first half, or kind of the fringe area. And then we got the ball, kickoff return, we take it back to the house, and so it's then the defense. So we're just kind of a little bit out of rhythm. Then we get a short field.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Feels like they're hungry and just excited to play in a crazy environment and, take on another great player. I think it's always fun to go into a match, hoping to perform at a high level and be able to slow somebody down. But I also think this team hasn't had a challenge like that in a while. So, hopefully it doesn't come out that we've been complacent or that, we need this. It'd be great if we played awesome and it wasn't a challenge, but I think most of us know that's unlikely.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's awesome. I'm Ravi here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Jacob Padilla of Hurrdat Sports. Jacob, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Good to talk to you guys.
Always good to talk with you, JP. How was the baseball last night? I know you're so locked in on that. What did you like the Jays getting a win?
Roll Jays, go baseball, I guess.
You're watching the Sixers, weren't you?
I was still recovering from watching the 18 inning or whatever it was the night before. I couldn't bring myself to duck back in.
I feel like we need to make that a T-shirt. Roll Jays, go baseball.
Roll Jays, go baseball.
That's an incredible.
I mean,
shirt.
who else but the Hurrdat Brand Goods guys to be able to do that?
I love that.
JP, would you like your face on a T-shirt? Do you think people would buy that?
Probably not. I'm still waiting on the Team DB shirt. I think we need to roll that out before we move it on to a Jacob shirt.
We do need to get the Team DB shirts for sure. We also probably need to get some Team DBK shirts out here with the Nebraska volleyball team. That's what you call it, transition, folks.
Bang.
With the Nebraska volleyball team having not lost a set, it seems like ever. They've lost, I believe, 6 sets on the year in 20 matches, which seems pretty good, Jacob.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And teams were barely even reaching 20 against them. They're playing at such a high level, and that's the impressive thing. Is even early in the season we saw them get off to some slow starts, and while they're not winning wire to wire every single one of these matches, even that's improved. Where they're falling behind. It's not by much, and it doesn't take long for them to kind of click into gear and turn it around. So a lot of these aren't even that competitive, and part of it is like the schedule, and they haven't played other top 10 or other top Big Ten teams. But and the last time they did was Purdue, and they did almost drop that set. But again, they found a way to come alive and take over down the stretch, and then they rolled in the last 2 sets of that one, and have been rolling ever since. So this will be a fun week for them to kind of test themselves against a Wisconsin team, and to see just how locked in they have been, and how they're able to handle it if they do run into some resistance this time.
Jacob, as you see it right now, I have this argument maybe once a week with Dr. Fiance about it, where the field is right now for, I guess, the title contenders in college volleyball. I make the argument that it's Nebraska and the field, and she likes to say it's Nebraska and Texas and then the rest. Do you see it that way, or is it closer in either argument?
Yeah, I think it's probably best for you to just agree with her. And not just in this case, but in general. I think Texas, they are the one team at this point. I mean, Nebraska beat the other teams that are in contention. And Texas is the one they haven't played. And you just look at kind of the depth of talent they have, and they've got a lot of young players too that I think are probably continuing to get better as the season goes on in important roles. So like that's the only team that you look at balance and like difference makers across the board. I think that's the only team that can come close to Nebraska. So I don't know if it's Nebraska and Texas in the field, if it's Nebraska 1, Texas in a second tier, and then everybody the rest of the way. But Texas is clearly separated itself from everybody else, I think, just not quite to the same degree that Nebraska has in terms of like consistency and overall dominance from start to finish.
JP, when you look at this Nebraska team, is there any part of you that is, I think about this in basketball a lot and kind of the ebbs and flow of the season, which I think is a lot more similar to volleyball in terms of just the number of games you're playing and sort of the different kind of roller coasters you go on through the season. Is there any part of you that worries about either peaking too early or anything that you've seen from the past years where it's like, hey, Nebraska's had some pretty dominant stretches over the last few years and then wasn't able to get it done when it came to getting, the Final Four time? Like, is there any part of you that has that creeping in the back of your mind, or how do you view this stretch of dominance considering where it comes in the season?
Yeah, no, I think the players have kind of talked through that, and coach has as well, just about how they're combating that and the complacency aspect of it and all that, just with the way they approach practice. And what Bergen, I think, said it yesterday, like they've got 2 of the best teams in the country in the same gym, regardless of how they organize those teams, because they're constantly moving around and changing it, so they're all facing each other. And so like they're continuing to face, even if they don't get pressed in matches, they're facing difficulty in practice because of how good their B side is, and kind of just the depth of talent they have. So like they're having to bring their best in practice every day. If one, they want to hold on to their jobs because they know how good those players behind them are. But two, I think they are focused on accomplishing that goal. Like the veterans on this team know what it's like to have a great season and to come up short. And that's been the case for Nebraska for a while now. And I think these juniors leading the way, Rebecca Alec leading the way, they don't want to see that happen again. I mean, they know what that match felt like 2 years ago against Texas, and coming up short again last year against Penn State. So I think the balance of the team probably helps offset that as well, in that they're not relying on anybody. As talented as they are at so many different positions, anybody can have an off night and they can just go to somebody else. I mean, you look at up and down the lineup, like Harper's hitting over 300. They've got 3 middles hitting over 400 and averaging over 2.5 kills a set. You've got Taylor Landfair, who's close to 290 now, and is starting to become more effective, and missed a little bit of time with a slight ankle injury, but she should be fine. You've got Virginia Adriano hitting almost 250 on that right side, and she's been a little up and down, but playing her first season, and we've seen her at her best. So I think just kind of the nature of their practices and the way they approach that, in addition to their balance, kind of help offsets that to where I think they can win so many different ways that I don't know that they can necessarily peak too early, I don't think.
Jacob, do you think that there is, are we past the point where DBK knows exactly, how to remedy any of her rotations, or which players fit the best, and how starting lineups would look, per matchup? Or do you think that there is still something to be said about finding kind of that set rotation and moving forward with that for the rest of the season and in the postseason and beyond?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we've kind of settled into what it's going to be when the matches are really competitive and every win counts. Outside of that libero spot, that'll be the one to watch kind of the rest of the way. Is obviously we've seen them switch back to Lainey Choboy at libero for the last 2 weeks, after Olivia Mauk had settled in there for a handful of weeks in a row. So that's probably going to continue to be kind of a week-to-week thing, just based on practice, based on matchups. And I think that they're both playing well regardless of what role they put them into. And I think that makes it easier for Danny, is the fact that, even if one isn't getting the libero jersey, she still has a chance to really impact the team and play well. And I think be happy with that. So like, that's the one I think for the most part, they if she needs to, like, break glass in case of emergency, we haven't seen that in a while. We know that she has options to change things up if someone is struggling, whether that's Ali Check on the right side. We saw that recently, whether if somebody maybe gets banged up and needs to miss a match. At middle, they've got Minayo Beche, who's continuing to play at a ridiculously high level every chance she gets. Like that's crazy. Like she would start at almost any team in the country, and she's cool with just playing whenever, coming in and helping them get better. And I think that's what makes this team so special, is you have players like that are happy in their roles. And that's how you get like Bergen said, two of the best teams in the country in the same gym, because players really are bought into the greater good for the team.
Jacob, as you look forward through the schedule, obviously the big one with Wisconsin coming up on Friday, but as you kind of, we're allowed to look forward a little bit because we're not actually playing or coaching. As you look through kind of the remainder of the regular season, are there any places where you look at and you go, okay, here might be a potential hiccup, or a place where Nebraska could be tested in a way they haven't been yet this year?
Yeah, I mean, you got the 3-game trip, Minnesota, and then UCLA and USC out on the West Coast. I know that those teams have tripped up some of the other. They're not top 10 teams, but they're top 25 teams in that range, and it kind of tripped up some of the other better teams in the league. And again, 3 straight on the road. That's, I think, probably, like, if you get past this Wisconsin match, that's probably the most treacherous part of the schedule remaining. Because once you get past that, then you got Indiana on the road as well, who's been good this year. But then you got Penn State and Ohio State to kind of round out at home. So you get past this next stretch on the road. And that's kind of the interesting thing. It's like Nebraska, most of their big matches, just based on the way teams have worked out this season, most of their big matches are on the road. And so we've already seen them win at Purdue, who is, I think right now, the second highest rated team in the Big Ten, just ahead of Wisconsin. So, yeah, they're not facing the other top 5, top 10 teams like they did in the non-conference, but they are facing top 25 teams mostly on the road. So we'll continue to see them get challenged, and just kind of that maturity aspect of it, like, are you ready to go every single night? Are you able to do what you need to with travel and all that to get your body ready to play at the highest level? So we'll see that, like, this winning 30 plus matches in a row, like that takes a ridiculous level of consistency and ability to fight through when you don't have your best. And so that's probably kind of the biggest obstacle that we'll see from Nebraska this season, because they don't have any other top 5 teams in conference play that they'll run into.
JP, this is sports equinox season, but it's almost your local sports equinox for you, because you've got the high school football playoff starting. You have Creighton basketball next week. You've got Nebraska and Creighton volleyball still going on. And you've got kind of everything all loading up here. How do you differentiate your time? I mean, I know you're wanting to go every which way. So where are we going to be over the next couple of weeks?
Oh, we got state volleyball coming up too, as well, to try to factor in. I think Nebraska, start with Nebraska volleyball, because obviously they're the best team in the country. And then Creighton basketball and/or state sports playoffs there, and volleyball. And then Creighton basketball from there, and whatever's left over. That's, I think, probably how I'm going to have to hire. I have not tried to plan beyond this schedule, just kind of waiting for the postseason stuff to play its way out, so I can see what it's going to look like. But not really looking forward to trying to figure out where I'm going to be when next week, because it's going to be very complicated. But I'll do my best to cover everything as best I can, and rely on our wonderful team to kind of help us provide some coverage of the stuff that I can't be at myself.
Can I get a personal pick from you for Class B football right now? Can you give me a can you predict a state champ?
No. I probably Waverly, I would just say. But I mean,
is it fair to say no one's path is easy in B?
Oh, no, without a doubt. I mean, like those semis and even maybe a quarter or two are going to be ridiculous as kind of the bracket plays out, just because we know how good the top 6 or so are. But then, like, Seward is tricky. Like, that's a team that could trip up any of those top teams. And then Scottsbluff, I think, as well. Like, how much have they learned from that Seward loss? What are they able to kind of pull off against those teams? They'll like, one of those teams are like Scottsbluff gets to host, right? They're gonna have
for a few rounds. They're the 3rd seed,
yeah. So like that's not going to be easy for one of those teams to go out there to Scottsbluff and have to play against them with running 50 times a game with all that quarterback run game, and then trying to hit you over the top with a deep pass every now and then. Like, yeah, Class B is going to be ridiculously fun. And yeah, any of those teams you could see emerging. Just like Waverly is the most proven at this point. They've already beat Bennington. They've beat Norris now, and obviously that was an instant classic. And I think Norris is very capable as well with all the weapons they have. But we know Elkhorn North, coming off that inspired effort, how good their defense is and how good Ethan Beachy can be. And he's got some weapons too. So like any of those teams, like Bennington's playing at a high level as well, even coming off of that loss. I think you still really like their defense and what they're able to do offensively with Jake Russell as a deep threat and Ty Buafakeo, both in the run and pass game. So yeah, like there's any combination of those teams. I think Gretna East is playing at a really good level coming into the postseason now after just kind of the way they finished, picking up the wins they did. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but I'll go with Waverly as they're the number one team right now, and they've got the best wins without a loss. But we've seen all those teams beat each other already.
And I don't think anybody even mentioned Scott.
Nope.
Yeah,
Scott Bennington just hanging out there,
the other one
5 and 6, doing their thing.
The quarters this year, if chalk prevails, is Waverly versus Seward, Bennington versus Elkhorn North, Scottsbluff versus Norris, and Scott against Gretna East. That's the quarterfinals.
I would take any of those as championship games too. I mean,
yeah,
truthfully,
absolutely.
Televised, all that good stuff. Yeah.
All right, JP, we will talk to you later. Appreciate the time as always, and hopefully we'll chat again soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's
See you,
Jacob
bestie.
Padilla from Hurrdat Sports.
You know what's crazy too in B? No lack of motivation or storylines in all those games.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, even you start with the Elkhorn North side where we had all the emotions that happened last week. Waverly hasn't been in this position. They've always been kind of the bridesmaid, never the bride. They've always been chasing. Scott's trying to repeat, and then also you add in the Verzal factor too. You've got all that going on.
You got the Elkhorn North.
Yep. Bennington wants to get back to the top of the mountain. I mean, Scottsbluff is the underslided Western team. Seward's the team that everyone kind of wrote off because they were banged up. And Gretna East, the new kid on the block. Like so many great storylines. Whoever comes out of it, it's gonna be good.
A lot going on. Austin, thanks for hopping in for the last hour here. DB and I will be back tomorrow. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.